who has requested us not to share his name for helping us with the arrangements of chairs, tables for today's program. Last but not the least, GC members such as Messrs. Vikram, Upender, Vishnu, Ajayji, and our president in helping us and guiding us from time to time and making this town hall program happen. Now I hand over the mic to my colleague.
Warm welcome, Ellargu Namaskara. So I now will just get started. I request our president, sir, Mr. Nagaraj Rao, to do the honors. Professor Gowda, please come to the stage.
Stop treating politicians as a king or lord. We are a laborer,
And
that is what we have to.
it's a gesture. Vikram, please honor Professor Gowda. Thank you. Now I hand over to Vikram.
Thank you, Raman sir, Vidya, and the organizing team. Many more names that have been named over here, and thank you all for participating. See friendly faces, Sridhar, after a long time. Electronic City has been a dear cluster for us at BAF because it represents a very interesting mix of challenges, issues, problems. It's partly in Bangalore, it's partly not in Bangalore. It's under different assembly constituencies. So we have Bangalore South, we have Anekal, we have multiple panchayats. Few of you might be coming under certain panchayat limits. We have LCTA over here, which is a town management authority, but they take care of only some part of things. So in some sense, Electronic City is representative of the, what I call execution by chance approach, right? So I think the movement and growth of population of over here has not has been far faster than the design of the area itself, right? Growth and urban planning of this area, which obviously means that there are a lot of challenges and problems, right? And this area represents that perfectly, and hence. From BAF's point of view, as you all know, we are a federation of about now 1,200 resident welfare associations across the city, fairly largely spread out. We have close to about 25 clusters, as we call it. Electronic City being one cluster, there are 24 other clusters across the city, which is the cluster of apartments. Each cluster has its own leadership team, members who meet regularly. Of course, Raman sir and his team are the people who are closely coordinating. Earlier, Sridhar was the president. So this area has its own ecosystem which interacts once in a while. The idea of also doing the Every Vote Matters campaign by BAF was simple. Our feeling at the governing council was that there is a lack of interaction, communication, engagement, relationship at two levels. One is at the level of the political parties, candidates, the political class, right? Are they really looking at the urban voter, mainly people staying in apartments, middle class people, as people who are potentially what you call electorate? Sir is laughing over here, right? Are they the people who count to numbers? Which is naturally a right expectation, right? At the end of the day, to look at you as an electorate. Are the political leaders interested to engage? That is one thing. Equally at our residents and our citizens level, right? Are they really interested in interacting, engaging, and claiming that political legitimacy? Is an important question we are asking, right? I don't have an answer for it right now, but this is an opportunity for us to determine that political legitimacy on both sides of the coin, right? We need our people. When I'm saying our people, generally urban people, largely it's a mix of cultures. As you know, today Electronic City also has a lot of people working, multinationals. They have come from multiple states. They have made Bangalore their home. Whether we like it or not, it's a multicultural mix, which is a good thing actually for a city's future. most cultures coming in, but they have to participate, everybody has to participate, and the political leaders should be able to give that focus, attention, legitimacy to the issues concerned, and that communication has to go on. So that's the fundamental purpose of the BAF Every Vote Matters campaign, where we are saying that every vote matters, the person who's voting and the person who's seeking a vote, for them it should matter, right? So we did one all-party town hall on 12th of March at the central level, where senior leaders from all the parties had participated. We had Dr. Ashwath Narayana from BJP representing BJP. We had Mr. Ramalinga Reddy, a 7-time MLA representing the Congress party. And of course, we had special mention Professor Rajiv Gowda, who's the chairperson of the apartment cell. They have formed something called the apartment cell for the first time. So they're going deeper into the issues of apartments. So he and his team were there. We had Prithvi Reddy, the state convener, Mr. Prithvi Reddy of Aam Aadmi Party was represented, and Mr. Tanveer Ahmed from JDS. Had a good debate. Of course, that was a 30,000 feet debate on macro issues across the city, what is important for apartments, etc., and all that kind of stuff. But we also said it is important for local communities, our members, to interact with candidates, look at local issues, talk about that very strongly. So the idea of local town halls was started that way. So we have started the town halls from today. Incidentally, in the morning at 9:30, we had one in BTM layout for that area. This is the second town hall which is happening in Electronic City. We have a few more happening we are doing this in at least 7 or 8 constituencies, where we are inviting all political parties, their candidates, to come in. We are inviting our members, and we are saying, this is your opportunity to talk, interact. We are a facilitator, right? And we believe that if this relationship goes on in the future, should not just be limited to the election. Of course, that's the most important first step, to interact and vote, make a choice, make an informed choice. But that relationship should also continue. Munde ee taranu hogta irbeku, right? Idon just ಒಂದು ಅವಕಾಶ. ಬಂದು ಎಲ್ಲರನ್ನೂ ಭೇಟಿಯಾಗಿ, for example, Ashok is here today, BJP candidate will be here. I'm sure, I think Congress is also the presumptive candidate today, probably might drop by for a 15 minutes, etc. But we are building that relationship to take it forward, right? Whether somebody is winning in the government, in the opposition, all that political stakeholders are important to dare I say, put pressure and bring highlight to our attention to our issues. So that's the opportunity. So please interact. Let's listen to all of them. Let's listen to their views. Let's listen to their vision for the constituency. Like I said, this is a very complicated constituency. It requires a very intelligent approach towards solving the issues of the constituency. I do hope all the parties, all the candidates bring in that sensitivity, right, to look at the issues of this constituency and interact with you all to take that inputs going forward. Thank you so much, Ashok. Thank you, Professor, for coming down today. I believe our current MLA and the BJP candidate is also on his way. He'll be joining us in some time, but we'll get the proceeding started. Just from a sake of completion, what I would also want to do is hand over Ashok first to you, because we've already done that. We have prepared, Prof, you have a copy? Yeah. So we have prepared something called as Apartment Residence Charter, which many of you would have perhaps seen also. We had shared a digital copy in our cluster groups. If not, let us know. We are happy to share that. It's a concise summary of the top level issues faced by apartment residents, by what we have seen, what feedback we have got. We have broken it down into 7 categories, and each category has a few points of the key issues. We have covered compliances, we have covered environmental challenges, we have covered various other services, civic agencies like BWSSB, BESCOM, BBMP, all those agencies, what today is expected from them on issues which are specific to us. So that's a summary. We do hope that these are inputs which can be accommodated in the manifestos of parties, as well as the action plan of candidates and parties as we go forward. Basically, at least all of the parties have committed to do that. We are happy to know that they will value this. So, but as members, as representatives of the cluster, we would also request you to go through that document and sort of relate. I'm sure you will relate to most of the issues which are out there, right? We are talking about KSPCB, we are talking about electrical inspectorate, all those compliances that we struggle with, we have challenges with, we have problems with corruption, etc., right? So it's a representation of that. So without further ado, I will hand over the mic to my colleague Arun. Arun, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for Vikram for your introduction. And I think one round of applause should be given to the BAF team for coming up with this event and giving us all of us an opportunity to interact with our leaders, right? One more round of applause for the entire team of BAF, please. Okay, so the event is going to be in two parts. The first part, we are going to invite our members and candidates to take us through the vision for this season. And also, after that, we will have a second part to do the question and answers. So I invite all of you to be prepared with your questions, and we are going to, seek answers from our leaders. Okay, so to begin with, I would like to call Mr. Professor Rajiv Gowda from Congress. Okay. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we'll move to Mr. Ashok from Aam Aadmi Party. He is a BCom graduate and he is also postgraduate in advanced DPM. By profession, he is a senior finance manager at Amazon India. And looking at the political experience, he's a vice president from AAP from Bangalore. Worked with the party for last 4 years in certain parts of Bangalore. And he also have the ability to build a political organization from the grassroots level. So I would like to invite with a round of applause, Mr. Ashok Nupinjar.
Hi, good morning. So, I'm sure you heard of my qualification, my working experience. So, it is just to say that I'm one among you. Right? I'm not a politician by choice. I'm a politician by force. I've been an activist for last 8 years. And every time I go to the BBMP ward committee meeting, I used to get to hear from them, come after 1 week, we will solve your issue. You go after 1 week, same thing the engineer will say, come after 1 more week. Right? I got pissed off with that. I'm sure you would have faced it, been an active volunteer. You would see this kind of behavior in every ward committee meetings. There, I started getting a question. These engineers are paid from the taxes which we are paying, right? It's like, they're working for us. There are servants, employees. When we get into the office, government offices, we have to be treated like a owners. But it's the other way around. They act like a lords and kings and we have to beg them, request them. That really pissed me off. I was in Germany, I was in Switzerland. The culture, what we had in other countries, why don't we have it in Bangalore? Why don't we have it in India? What is stopping us from going there? Then slowly, then I became an activist. We should bring about change. What I realized is, you become an activist, it's good, you want to bring some change to the society. But it becomes begging, being very honest, please don't mind my words. It's really begging. You have to go and beg with the elected representative that, brother, I'm paying my taxes to you every year. I pay road tax, I pay property tax, I pay my income tax 30 to 40%. Still, I have to come and beg you for my basic drainage work. My drainage is not fixed, come and fix it. The drainage is overflowing on the road, come and fix it. Right? The garbage is lying on my ground. Nobody is there to pick it up. Please come and pick it up. The engineer will say, we will come. You will have to follow for 2 to 3 days for him to come and pick it up. Make sure that the things work. Why is it happening? Is it that, we are not capable of handling a system? I got into the further details. I brought a work order for a garbage pickup. I saw that for garbage pickup in one of the ward, 100, they say, Paura Karmikaru in Kannada. 100 Paura Karmikaru have to be appointed. When I saw the real numbers on the ground, it was hardly 20. Right? What happened to the 80 volunteers, 80 Paura Karmikas? They were never hired. So there was an agreement between the contractor and the corporator that I will give you the contract, you give me the kickback, don't appoint 80, 100 your laborers, that's okay, I don't care. You give me the money, keep doing your work, people will crib about it. Wherever there is a high cry, we will go and address it. Right? Wherever people cry more, that issue will get addressed first. Or wherever our MLA says, that issue will get addressed first. Is it what we pay tax for? The corporators simply made a money, they made us suffer every day with their local issues. Right? This is corruption. We think that corruption may affect only certain set of people. Let me tell you, the corruption affects every single step you take. Today, when you get onto the road, you see pothole, you see patches, you see, lot of up and downs in the roads. Why does it happen? When a road is being built, the requirement is to make sure that you build a road by taking out the existing road, put a wet mix, compact it, then lay a road of around 6 inches for a 100-feet road. But what happens? Nothing happens, no compaction gets removed, no work happens. Just that, you might have seen, they'll just put some tar on the existing road, they'll build it. It's only 2 inches. It will not last more than 3-4 months. Right? Again, you have to keep cribbing about it. So, why does it happen? Again, goes back to the root cause corruption, kickbacks. Right? The corporator, the MLA and the builder nexus, the contractor nexus is so deep rooted. Every single thing, every single issue, you go deeper, check the work order. You see the work order you can access in bbmp.gov.in, the finance bill workshop is there. You can access that and you will really see that the pin-to-pin details have been clearly given out. Right? How much should be the tar level? How much should be the bitumen? But nothing happens. It clearly says, let's say you're doing a work. Right? We keep seeing that work happens for years together. BBMP Act clearly says, if a work is happening, you're supposed to put a board. Mention the name of the contractor. Mention the number of the contractor. Mention the duration from and to when the contract should be done. They don't do it. You know why? Because corruption. If they don't meet the time period, they also have a liability clause. They have to pay back to the government authority. They don't do that. Right? They know that, people do not have so much patience to go check, access the work order, fight with the BBMP, file an RTI, take it. Then check what is the timelines for a project. I'll give an example. There was a project initiated in Kundali Gate. I'm sure whoever travels to Whitefield knows about it. In February 2016, RNS Infrastructure was given a project for 100 crore, 97 crore exactly, to build an underpass in Kundali Gate, which leads to Whitefield. It got completed 6 months back. The project got delayed. The reason is, standard reason, land acquisition issues. You ask any politician, any delay, they say the project is delayed because land acquisition issue. My only simple question, when you started the project, were you not aware of the land acquisition issue? Why did you start a project without even acquiring the land? It's all bullshit reasons. Let me be very honest. I'm a bit rude and blunt in that with the current politicians. The cost of the project today, when it got completed, it reached 200 crore. Right? It got doubled up. 18 months project got completed after 8 years. And we have to shell out our money, 100 crore extra, because some stupid fellow sat there and made a plan without even considering the land acquisition problems. And let me tell you, is land acquisition a real problem? The answer is no. You're an MLA, you have an authority to change the land acquisition bill. When BMRCL is getting the land at swift away price, very easily, what is stopping you from getting it done for your local issues? The same government is approving land for BMRDL. You have all the authority to pay money. There the issue comes in TDR. We say we will give TDR, transfer of developmental rights. We will not pay cash. If I have to depart my land, I have an emotions attached with it, right? If I have to sell it out, I have to get something in return at the market price. But what we are saying, we will give you an additional floor capacity. On the same land, you build an additional floor. Okay, I am rich, I have money, I will build it. What if I don't have anything? I don't have money to construct anything. I just have a land. If you come and tell me, I'll give you construction rights, will you give your land to me? Or I don't have money to construct, what will I do with your right? Right? This is a stupid plan what we have in our land acquisition bill. We all know this. This is not there today. Why have we not changed it? What is stopping us from changing it? Our governments are there. They know there's a problem. This is just a reason they don't want to change it. Because they want to delay the project. If the project gets delayed, the cost of the project will get doubled. I'll get extra commission. That is the main intent. Today, we are suffering because of this bad infra. If I keep talking about it, so many things I'll tell you. But that is not the purpose. The purpose here is, What is that, we have to give it for the Bangalore South? My simple question, we take 1.5 hours to travel from here to Whitefield. I'm sure many would work in Whitefield. I come from that area. I know the pain of traveling from here to there. It takes 1.5 hour bare minimum. You go in metro, you go whatever the way you want to, it takes bare minimum 1.5 hour. Why do we have to go till there? Why can't we have a companies in outskirts of Kanakpura Road? Why every company has to be situated in SEZ of Whitefield, Belandur, other area? Why not here? Right? I am not against Belandur. I stay in Belandur. I know that it's a very good place. But why only one particular, area is being given so much power, so much SEZs have been built up? Why not other area? Right? My guarantee to the people of Bangalore South is, the moment Aam Aadmi Party government comes to power, we will build SEZs in Bangalore South. We don't want you to go to Whitefield. We want you to spend the time with your kids at home. We want you to spend the time with your family at home. We don't want you to spend your time on the road. That is the commitment to you. Second thing, there is no railway station at all in Bangalore South. You have to go to Majestic, you have to go to Kerpuram, you have to go to Yeshwanthpur. Why not? Bangalore South is the most grown city, most grown area in Bangalore, right? It has a history of 100+ years. Why not this area? Whitefield also has a railway station, right? The moment we get an SEZ, the first thing, railway station is definitely not in state purview, but definitely we'll put up a strong request to the central government to allocate a railway, even a suburban railway, right? We will put across a strong request to make sure that a railway is allocated to the Bangalore South. Come to airport, at least HAL there is kind of an airport we had. Now Bangalore International Airport is in Devnalli. Why not in Bangalore South? What are we lacking of? We have space. Kanakpura Road, the moment you go ahead, there are a lot of spaces available. Bannerghatta Road, you go towards Jigni, you have a lot of space available. Why not in Bangalore South? It may look like a tall promise. We are talking about, airports and we're talking about railway. I'll tell you, Shivamogga Airport was inaugurated with 500 crore couple of months back. Till today, it is not operational. It will become operational only in 2024. Why did we even inaugurate a railway, airport over there? And who will go to Shivamogga? A lot of people come to Bangalore, right? So the right priorities are not being chosen today. If the same 500 crore has been spent in some sort of infrastructure in Bangalore, we would have had a better life. Now, the biggest problem we all see is traffic. We get stuck in traffic, right? Every day we get stuck in traffic. Why does the traffic happen? We blame that, everybody uses their own car. People don't prefer. You go to any elected representative. The only thing they say is people are hesitant to use their public transportation. Let's take an example. I say in Talgatpura. The metro from my home till Talgatpura metro station is about 2 kilometers, right? I don't have a better parking facility over there. If I go there, I have to pay from my pocket some 50, 60 bucks for a parking, right? Then I have to board a metro, right? If I board a metro, I have to get down in Majestic. And I don't get a seat. I have to be standing across 40 minutes, it reaches Majestic. From there, I have to board one more metro to go to Bayapnalli. Then get down and board one more bus, where bus will be full. I will not even have a space to stand. I have to stand in the footboard, right? Then go to Whitefield. Tell me who will take so much pain to do that? I will prefer go in my car, right? This is the problem. We don't have a vision. We just, build metros, everything, right? Where do we have a last mile connectivity, right? In Delhi, Arvind Kejriwal recently launched a program about last mile connectivity. Wherever you have a public transportation, from the transportation till your home, you can hire e-bikes. From any point to any point across Delhi, 1,500 e-bikes have been delivered, wherein you can just book. You have seen that Yulu, kind of that one. You can book it and reach your home wherever you are. You don't have to board so many things. Let's say you got down at Bayapnalli, you want to reach Whitefield. You don't have to get another bus and board another metro. Just take a e-bike, reach your office, right? So this is kind of a vision, last mile connectivity, which has to be built in Bangalore. We introduced 7,500 buses in Delhi because we want to promote public transportation, right? Today's challenge is, if I go to the bus stand, I don't know whether I'll get a bus or not. I don't have a visibility, right? We developed an app in Delhi. It shows you what is the nearby buses available, what time it's going to reach the point you're in. If I get to know today that, okay, I'm going to get my bus in 2 minutes, 3 minutes, I don't mind going and waiting in the bus stop. If I don't even know, if it is uncertain to me that I'm not going to get my bus, or I may get it, I may not get it, you have to go to your office at meeting at 10 o'clock. You're standing at Kanakpura Road, Elchenalli at 8:30. What would you do? You would go and wait for a bus when it is uncertain, or you'll just go and board a cab, board a vehicle, get your own vehicle reach, right? This is the vision which has been lacked by entire governments in Karnataka. Now the last thing, which I want to talk about is roads. Roads gets beautifully done just because elections are nearby. I've traveled in this road, right? People say when you smell a tar, the elections are nearby, right? I've traveled this road for a long time. Nothing happens. You crave, you cry, you escalate, you do everything. Nothing happens. Just before election, no problem will occur, no issues will occur, every road will be asphalted. When they can do it in election 6 months, why can't they do it every year? Right? Forget about doing every year. In Delhi, we built a road infra project. We gave it to a contractor. We told him, if a pothole comes in, within 2 hours, you have to fix it. You don't fix it, you're responsible, we will fine you for that. Right? Maintaining the road is the responsibility of the corporator. In 2019, Okla judgment clearly says, every road has to be inspected by the local engineer within 15 days. Every 15 days, he has to submit a report to commissioner stating all roads in my area are good. 15 days once he has to visit all the roads and give a report. This is a judgment passed in 2019. But our government do not care to even implement it. Why do they care? Because it's a money. I'll tell you why it's a money. If I'm a cable operator, right, I want to dig a road for installing my cable, right? I'll just pay 5,000 rupee bribe to the engineer. He will let me do whatever I want. There is a rule. A new built road should not be dug for 3 years. You see, today BWSSB, BBMP ducks and do some work. Within 1 week, you'll see BWSB coming and digging for another work. What happened to the rules? They say, I don't know, BWSB did it. I don't know, BBMP did it. Why does it happen? Why there is no coordination between the departments? It is lack of will, right? Everything is a money. If BBMP allows digging the road, they'll get money. Now BWSB comes in, the contractor will be given award for digging the road. There is a commission. Every single work you see on the road attracts commission, right? The lack of will and the corruption is the main reason we all are suffering today, right? Now, how do we change it? See, if I make a tall promise that, look, you vote for me, I will change it, it will remain a tall promise, right? Even tomorrow I may become corrupt. What is the guarantee? You may be thinking that. But my honest thought process, is citizen involved in decision making? If I have to allocate a contract, is citizen involved in that? Do you guys get involved in any contract allocation? When you go to ward committee, you will only go to raise your concern. Ward committee is not there for the purpose of raising concern. Ward committee is a decision-making authority for every work which is happening in your ward. If a footpath has to be installed, the citizen should be consulted first. They should be part of the decision-making process, that you are giving a contract to a particular individual. What is his background? What is he? Is he a good contractor? What has he done in the past? What good work has he done? Has he done any bad work? What is his credibility? What is his experience? Who checks it today? Nobody checks it. My commitment to the Bangalore South is, every decision which happens on the ground, I'll make it mandatory that it has to be decided in the ward committee, be it any small decision, be it any bigger decision regarding infrastructure. We will create a think tanks, experts from all area. I'm not an expert in every area. If I think that my decision is the final decision, I'm the foolest person in the world. There are a lot of people who have expertise in infrastructure, city infrastructure. We will create a think tank of those individuals. We will take their opinion. We will make them part of the ward committee. They will sit and decide what is that best thing we need. We might have seen, the road is already beautiful. There is no issue. Still, someone will be putting a tar on the same road, where the other roads are broken very badly, right? Still nobody puts a tar over there. It's a prioritization, right? When a citizen gets involved, when you get a citizen involved in decision making, you guys go through the same road every day. You know the problem, what you're facing. You know what is the priority. We don't get everything to solve in 1 year, 5 years, right? We have to prioritize things. So getting citizen involved in decision making is the right thing to do to avoid corruption. You should also have a say in choosing the vendor. Why this vendor? Why not this vendor? What has he done? Today nothing happened. We will choose a contractor, corporator friend, MLA friend, or a contractor gets chosen. You will be given information that our work will happen this day. The day will come. There is no transparency at all. You will not even get to know what's happening. My commitment to Bangalore South, you will get so much transparency, you will get so much autonomy, so much power in decision making, not in raising the issue. You guys will be the decision makers of your own assembly. What is that you want to do? If there is a money required, as an MLA, I would go and stand in the assembly, I'll get the money you want. Then I'll put it on to you, tell me what is that you want to do with this money. Let's form a committee of ourselves. Let's form a task force of ourselves, right? Not to do social media propaganda, but to really work on the ground, make sure that we really achieve what we wanted without corruption, right? This is my honest thought. Forgive me if I've been rude and blunt on any of my thing, but I'm literally irritated, frustrated with our system, right? Why did I join politics? In fact, I had written a slide yesterday. Wanted to present it to you, but I could not communicate early. I was born and brought up in a poor family. I was living in some 10 by 10 room. Midnight, 2 o'clock, I used to get up and go to ration shop and get the kerosene, right? I didn't know that kerosene is my right. I went, if you don't go to the shop, ration shop at midnight, 2 o'clock, stand in the queue till 6 o'clock in the morning, you wouldn't get kerosene. I'm telling you my childhood experience. That is the state we were in, right? I thought, if I don't get a kerosene the entire month, I'll not be able to eat food. My mom will not be able to cook food for me. I've seen those difficult days. But today, when I read into the laws, when I see it is a right and entitlement of every citizen who has a ration card to get the allocated ration of that particular month, any time of the day you go to the ration shop. The ration guy has to put a board. These are the timings in which, we will issue the ration. You don't have to stand in the queue. You go there, you get to your right. But again, there is a corruption. The guy sells off the ration to hotels and other sources and deploy the people of their basic right. So it literally irritates me. Even today, there are 80 lakh people who suffer because of these things. In India, 80 lakh people are below poverty line. They still suffer even today that they're not getting the right thing, basic needs they need, right? That literally irritates me. That's the reason, I joined politics. I really want to bring a difference. We are not as rich as, to quote BJP and Congress, we are not as rich as them, right? We are a poor political party. We don't want to be richer, being very honest with you. I don't have any intention to become richer through political funding, right? We reach people through our door-to-door campaigns. We reach people through our pamphlet distribution. That's the max we do. We don't do big rallies. We don't have money to do that, and we don't even want to do it, right? Because we want to win election with the white money, with funding from people. Today we can easily collect funding from builders, corporates. After winning, they'll come and demand me, give me this government land for me, I want to build an apartment. I will be having a baggage since I've collected money from them. I'll have to do the work for them. I'll not be able to work for the people if I collect black money from the builders and corporates, right? Hence, in our party, Aam Aadmi Party, Arvind Kejriwal is very clear, we do not collect any sort of black money. Any funding to the party, we take funds. Without funding, election cannot happen. I'll be a fool if we say that we will win without funds. We need funds for printing pamphlets. We need funds for food expenses. We are 20 volunteers here. Today we came here. We have to go to RO office, right? I need to feed them with food. It's not that they can't feed in themselves. They can feed themselves. But it's a kind of a courtesy that, we have to feed the food. So for these kind of expenses, our pamphlet printing, social media campaigns, we need to reach out. Whoever does the highest campaign will win. That's what the sentiment of the voter, right? My sincere request to all of you, contribute to us, right? We are, maybe you'll find it unique. People are asking money from you. Aam Aadmi Party is asking money from you. Yes, we are asking money from you. We need funding from you so that we can work for you. We don't want fund from anybody else where we can't work for them. We don't care if we don't win, being very honest. We are here to change the system. We will definitely change it. It may take time, that's okay. We are not in a hurry. We are in a hurry to change, but we are not in a hurry to get into a bad politics and bring about a change. We want to bring a honest politics. We want to win election with a honest white money, spending only 40 lakh, which is allocated budget by election commission, nothing beyond that, right? I would send across a link through our party, BAF folks. Please donate funds to us. Help us win election in fair and honest way. We will definitely work for you. Thank you.
Sri Ashok my good friend, who was our candidate last time, Sri Ramesh, and all the office bearers of BAF, friends in the audience. I'm Rajiv Gowda, and we've launched something new in the Congress Party called an apartment cell. This is a very unique new dimension of the Congress Party. And the point of an apartment cell is that we've realized over time that there are numerous apartments across Bangalore city, across the state in fact, and they are facing a range of challenges that need special attention. So we've instituted this apartment cell, which will be our way of permanently having an organizational division that will engage with apartments, with apartment federations, and find solutions to the unique problems and challenges faced by apartments. You know, I'm also an ex-MP, I'm also a former professor at IIM Bangalore, I'm also chairman of the Congress Party's research department nationally. But I took on this initiative because, one, I myself live in an apartment in Baswangudi, and I realize the kinds of challenges that are out there. But more than anything else, I know that my party is committed to addressing and resolving these problems. Let me just say, you know, when do we all think about government? We think about government when we have problems with government, when we have problems in our daily life. If we go into a pothole, we will curse the government. If we have a bureaucratic issue that is not getting resolved, we will curse the government. Now, we want to create a situation where life is so smooth and constructive that you don't even think of the government. You don't have anyone to curse because the quality of life has improved. That is really where we want to get. How do we get there? The first step is that we have been engaging with the Bangalore Apartments Federation, with apartment residents. We've been doing this for some time. And we've taken part in similar town halls, the one that was held in Century Club, and then which Mr. Ramlinga Reddy represented us, and I was also there. Then we held one event in Shangri-La for resident welfare associations from around the city, and a large number had come that day. We were very happy to engage, and we gave an opportunity for everyone to express their views and concerns, which we have been trying to address. So basically what we've done is we've come up with, one second, I'll just show it here. We call it a proposed action agenda for Bengaluru apartments. Why is the terminology like this? Well, normally we would call this a manifesto, but the manifesto for the party has not been officially declared, so we are calling it a proposed action agenda. What is in this agenda? We've taken the different dimensions of challenges and problems that apartment owners face. One set, for example, relate to issues regarding what is the legal framework that is appropriate and how do we fix the problems in the existing legal frameworks. So for example, are associations registered under the Cooperative Societies Act, or should they be properly registered under the Ownership Apartment Act? All these sorts of Apartment Ownership Act, these are some of the issues that have arisen in that context. And we've sat with our senior leadership, and one of the first things we are going to do is we're going to streamline the legislation. We're going to make sure that the ambiguities, the confusion that exists will be resolved. Issues related to complete ownership of, for example, the land here, the undivided share that needs to go to each apartment owner, all of those kinds of issues will be resolved. Similarly, there are issues related to the Real Estate Regulation Act and how it is actually implemented, RERA. I was on the Parliamentary Select Committee of the Rajya Sabha, which drafted the original RERA, and the implementation we left to each state, and there is some challenges there. This is again an issue that we're going to take up and fix the challenges that exist. We are, throughout, we will be reaching out to you for concrete inputs. And I think already in the charter that BAF has shared with us, we have some very concrete suggestions, which I think we should be in a position to incorporate. Now, apart from that, when you think about certain other issues related to basic needs are things like water supply. Basic needs are things like sewage treatment, waste management, right? On all these fronts, there are problems in the way things have been implemented over the years. I'm happy to welcome Sri M. Krishnappa, our MLA and chairman of the Vakliga Development Corporation of Karnataka. And he's been sitting MLA for 3 terms from Bangalore South. Now, basically, if you take these sorts of issues, the way sewage treatment has been addressed historically is a potential challenge. Because one, the technical manpower to manage it well in different scale of apartments may not be there. There may be different quality of wastewater and other that comes out. And so we want to actually sit with experts and reimagine how sewage treatment should be done. Should it be decentralized at the apartment level? Should it be integrated with various other city and state managed entities? Those are all questions that we would want to look at and find solutions to. Similarly, with regard to water, you will recall that historically, the Kaveri water various stages have been implemented by the Congress party, and we are getting ready. There's a phase 5 that needs to be launched, and I think one of the first things that we will do is prioritize that, because we don't want apartments to be in the grip of a tanker mafia. We don't know the quality of water that is being introduced and shared and sold to apartment residents. All those concerns exist. If you remember that movie, Humble Politician Nagaraj, if you haven't seen it, you should. There, this tanker mafia plays one very active role. Anyway, similarly, there are mafias with regard to waste management. All these have to be addressed, and I think we have the political will to fix those problems, because we do not want them to come in the way of improving your quality of life. Now, along with that, water supply we talked about. Well, it's one thing. There's only so much water in the Kaveri. We need to ensure that we use water carefully. And there are different ways. One is to provide individual metering, such that each of us know how much are we using. And once we know that, we will be charged accordingly, and therefore we will be more careful with how much we use. We will also find ways to ensure that this whole confusion about bulk consumer and this and that will be sorted out. But more than that, I would also appeal to you all. This is not just a one-way traffic here, politicians and parties promising. We want cooperation and response from apartment residents as well. So what can we do? One is to integrate rainwater harvesting. We get a lot of rain, but we don't capture it. And so just think about ways, especially in these big complexes, that voluntarily you can actually integrate methods of recharging the groundwater and capturing water. So that rainwater, that would be a huge contribution, and it would lessen your dependence on outside sources as well. That's one. The second, as I mentioned, I live in an apartment myself off Bull Temple Road in Baswangudi. It's a relatively new apartment. So there, they've come up with a separate plumbing system for non-potable uses of water. We treat water, used water, and then we use it again in toilets, in the garden, etc. So at least to some extent, we are saving and recycling water. So all these things, if they can be implemented possibly in newer apartments, or retrofitting may be a challenge, but then we will be doing the right thing for our planet itself, because we don't want to overuse water as well. So given all this, so these are some of these kinds of issues. Now another issue is about connectivity and travel and transportation and roads and things of that sort, right? Now, one of the first things that we will do is increase the size of the bus fleet, okay? Because, we are a city that requires 3 times the number of buses that we have today. One of the interesting things is that we have different categories of buses. We have, regular buses, but we also have these Volvo buses with better facilities and things like that. And once we recognize that people are not excited about driving and going through traffic and that tension, that if they are given a comfortable alternative, which is affordable, then people will, not just affordable, reliable and regular, etc. So there is no reason not to increase the number of buses that we would have. And one other thing that we would want to do is create and improve what is called last mile connectivity. Have buses run in local loops at regular intervals such that you may not want to drive anywhere. You can go to the Electronic City Metro or to the Kanakpura Road metros and find a way to get on with the rest of your travel and transportation. Now, the other thing is suburban rail. I've been fighting for this from 2008, and progress has been somewhat slow. But the Prime Minister recently announced that he would get it done here in 40 months. We hope he does that. Nonetheless, what is the concept of suburban rail? There is existing railway infrastructure in Bangalore. This is not building anything new. It is using what already exists. In some places, we might need to add an extra track, etc. But, for example, close to here is a station called Hilalige, which connects to Hosur and Bayapnalli, that route. And, so the idea would be that, see, I've lived and worked in America for about 17 years before coming back in 2000. I never had a car for a long time. In cities like New York, etc., we took suburban rail. In India, we have very overpacked suburban rail in Mumbai. We have suburban rail in Chennai and Hyderabad. The idea is to use the railway infrastructure to run regular trains, because then you can get from, essentially, if you take a bus from here to Hilalige and then from there you take a train towards the city center, you should be able to go there in 20 minutes. It's not such a distance by train. So we want to use those sorts of existing infrastructure for multiple purposes. The other thing that we are committed to is to improve non-motorized transport possibilities. That means making it easier for people to walk, to cycle, etc., because that will also lower the pollution load on the city. And already you've seen, for example, if you were to come to Church Street, if you were to come to UBCT, those areas, during the Congress government under Sri Siddaramaiah, we introduced a project called, a method called tender shore roads, right? Which pushed a lot of the utilities underground, where you don't have the need to dig it up multiple times. Lots of very, very different concept, but also where footpaths have been laid out well. It just changes the whole landscape, makes it a pleasure to actually walk around in those areas, right? So that sort of thing, why should it be only in a few select city center areas? It should be something that is everywhere. So, the other issues, of course, are bureaucracy and corruption and things like that. What we intend to do is that we will ask each of our MLAs to, at periodic intervals, maybe in a monthly or 3 months, have the equivalent of a Bengaluru 1 camp, right, where you get all the agencies together. And if people have problems, we will make sure that everything gets addressed and resolved right there. Okay, so we want to bring government to the people to help address their issues, rather than get the runaround wherever you go. Apart from this, there are many other challenges. For example, citizen involvement in tracking contractors' promises, in making sure execution is happening according to standards. If you supervise and say, boss, make sure that the slope of the road is such, then you won't have potholes. Because it's, if you're designed to drain the water when it falls on the road, then, if it's done in a wrong way, then it will collect water. The collect water will eat up the asphalt, and then you will have your pothole. That can be prevented. It's not rocket science, right? We are sitting in electronic city where our brains are valued in the rest of the world, but we are not able to address local issues. We can. So this is something that just requires some commitment and also involvement of active citizens in ward committees. Those sorts of governance aspects we will strengthen. And active citizens means also going and checking on with the big infra projects that we're bringing in, making sure that they're being implemented according to the standards that are technically correct. So these are different dimensions of the kind of work we intend to do for you. Many of our MLAs have already been doing this in other parts of the city. And what I would like to commit is that, this apartment cell is the part of the party, but possibly from the government itself, we will have some entity that will keep, be a liaison entity for the sort of like a one window to address apartment residents' issues. This is something that we would need to implement. If you think about it, the way apartments are developing, this is the new face of Bengaluru. And it's good in many ways because you're not eating up more land, you're going up higher. That density allows for public transportation and other possibilities to work out because people can pool things. But, so essentially, we are out there very much committed to engaging with you all. We're very happy that BAF has created this platform. And so my request to all of you is, so only, even in this building cluster, there's so many thousands of people, but only a few are here today, right? Please go out and share these messages, the video of this event, with every resident in your apartment. The kind of numbers you have here, you should have a polling booth here, right? I mean, it should be, in the future, we should be, creating polling booths in each of your locations. Then no one will have an excuse for not coming out and voting, right? And if you're all engaged citizens, if you all, make it a two-way traffic between the political representative and the citizen, then we will together be able to transform Bengaluru for the better. That is good for all of us, and I look forward to your cooperation in taking Bengaluru, Karnataka, India to that, better quality of life, not just for all of us who live in apartments, but for the staff who work there, for the neighborhoods within which we are. That's really the vision that we come here with, and we look forward to working together with you. Now, our candidate for Bengaluru South is not yet announced, but our last time's candidate, Sri Ramesh, is here, and I'd request him to discuss some of the local issues, his own involvement, and share the Congress's track record here. ಇಲ್ಲ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಇದ್ರೆ ಮುಗಿಸ್ಬಿಡಿ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್ ಆಗಿ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಇದ್ರೆ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡಿ ತೊಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ.
ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಮೊದಲನೇದಾಗಿ BAF ಫೌಂಡೇಶನವರು ನಮಗೆ ಈ ಒಂದು ಮಾತಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅವಕಾಶ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮುಖ್ಯಸ್ಥರಿಗೆ, ಬಂದಿರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಅಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಸೋಸಿಯೇಷನ್ನ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮುಖ್ಯಸ್ಥರಿಗೆ ನನ್ನ ನಮನಗಳು. ಈ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಇಲ್ಲಿನ ಶಾಸಕರು ಆಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕೃಷ್ಣಪ್ಪನವರು ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಪಕ್ಷವನ್ನು ಅಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಗಳ ಒಂದು ಸೆಲ್ಲನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿ ಅದನ್ನು ಇಡೀ ರಾಜ್ಯದಲ್ಲೇ ಪ್ರತಿನಿಧಿಸ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ನಮ್ಮ MP ಆಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ನಮ್ಮ ರಾಜೇಗೌಡರು, ನಮ್ಮ ಆಮ್ ಆದ್ಮಿ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಯನ್ನು ಪ್ರತಿನಿಧಿಸ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಮೃತ್ಯುಂಜಯ ಅವರು, ಇವರೆಲ್ಲ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಏನಿವು ಸುಮಾರು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ನ ಈ ಭಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ತಾವು ಫೇಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ. ನಾನು ನೋಡ್ದಂಗೆ, ನಾನು ಹೋದ 2018ರ ಚುನಾವಣೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಪಕ್ಷದ ಅಭ್ಯರ್ಥಿಯಾಗಿ ಸ್ಪರ್ಧಿಸಿದ್ದೆ. ನಾನು 1,22,340 ಮತಗಳನ್ನ ತಗೊಂಡು ಸೋತಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನದಲ್ಲಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ನಮ್ಮ ಪಕ್ಷ ಇದುವರೆಗೂ ಅಭ್ಯರ್ಥಿಯನ್ನು ಘೋಷಣೆ ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾಳೆ ಸಾಯಂಕಾಲ 4 ಗಂಟೆಗೆ ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ನಾನೊಬ್ಬ ಆಸ್ಪಿರೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಹಲವಾರು ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳನ್ನು ತಾವು ಫೇಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ನಾನು ಕಂಡಂಗೆ ಕೆಲವು ಅಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಎಸ್ ಟಿ ಪಿ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್, ತುಂಬ ಎಸ್ ಟಿ ಪಿ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್, ಮತ್ತು ಆ ಸಿವೇಜ್ ಹೋಗಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅದ್ರದ್ದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್. ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆನೂ ನಿಮಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆನೂ ರಸ್ತೆ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಹಲವಾರು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಗಳು. ಬಿಲ್ಡ್ರು ಯಾರೋ ಒಂದು ಬಿಲ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಅದನ್ನು ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಓವರ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೊರ್ಟೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಆ ಪ್ರಿಮಿಸಸ್ ಏನಿತ್ತೆ ಆ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ನೋಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಆಚೆ ಕಡೆ ಅದನ್ನು ನೋಡಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಆಚೆ ಕಡೆ ಅದು ಕನೆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಈ ಥರದ ಹಲವಾರು ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳು ತಮಗಿದ್ದಾವೆ. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಮದೇ ಆದ ಒಂದು ಯೋಜನೆಗಳನ್ನು ನಾವು ರೂಪಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ನಮ್ಮ ರಾಜೀವ್ ಗೌಡರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಏನು ನಾವು ಮುಂದೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು, ನಮ್ಮ ಪಕ್ಷ ಅಧಿಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದರೆ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಾವು ಪ್ರಾಮಾಣಿಕವಾಗಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳಿಗೆ ಸ್ಪಂದಿಸ್ತೀವಿ. ಹಲವಾರು ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಇದ್ದಾವೆ ತಮ್ಮದೆಲ್ಲ. ಆ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳನ್ನು ನಿಭಾಯಿಸಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಪ್ರಾಮಾಣಿಕವಾಗಿ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನವನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅನ್ನೋ ಮಾತನ್ನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ, ನಾನು ಕೆಲವರಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಇಂಟ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ. ನನ್ನ ಇಂಟ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇದೊಂದು ಅವಕಾಶ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಟ್ಟ BAFನ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಂಘ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯವರಿಗೆ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಅಸೋಸಿಯೇಷನ್ವರಿಗೆ ನನ್ನ ವಂದನೆಗಳು. ನಾನು RK ರಮೇಶ್ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು, ನಾನು ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಪಕ್ಷದ 2018ರ ಒಂದು ಅಭ್ಯರ್ಥಿ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಈಗಲೂ ಒಬ್ಬ ಪಕ್ಷದ ಆಸ್ಪಿರೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ನನಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅನ್ನೋ 100% ಒಂದು ನನ್ನ ನಂಬಿಕೆ ಇದೆ. ನಂದೇ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಬಟ್ ಅಫಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಆಗಿ ನಮ್ಮದು ಇನ್ನೂ 58 ಸೀಟನ್ನು ಅನೌನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಆಗ ಅನೌನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ನಂಬಿಕೆ ಇದೆ. ನನಗೇನಾದರೂ ದೇವರು ಸಹಾಯ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದೊಂದು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನನಗೊಂದು ಅವಕಾಶ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಡಿ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ತಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಷ್ಟ ಸುಖಗಳಿಗೆ ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆಲಿ ಇರ್ತೀನಿ ಅನ್ನೋ ಮಾತನ್ನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ, ನನಗೆ ಒಂದು ಅವಕಾಶ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಟ್ಟ ತಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ವಂದಿಸ್ತಾ ನನ್ನ ಮಾತನ್ನು ಮುಗಿಸ್ತೀನಿ. ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ.
Thank you so much, Mr. R.K. Ramesh and Professor Rajiv Gowda. Just to put in...
Just to point out, Mr. Ramesh is very modest. He has done a lot of work. He's been president of the Bangalore Dairy and done a tremendous amount of work in terms of transforming the incomes of large numbers of dairy farmers and poorer people. He is a very genuine man who has come up from the grassroots, someone that the party has identified as a person who is committed to resolving public problems. And so he is not, he will do much more in the future. So I just wanted to convey this on your behalf. And he has a wonderful team.
ನಾನು ಇದು ಪಕ್ಷ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಓಟ್ ಕೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮಾತಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ. ನನ್ನ ಪರ್ಸ್ನಲ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸು. ನಾನು ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ಡೈರಿಗೆ, ನೀವೇನು ನಂದಿನಿ ಹಾಲು ಕುಡಿತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ, ಈ ಹಾಲಿಗೆ ನಾನು 4 ಟೈಮ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದೀನಿ. 1 ಸಾರಿ ಪ್ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಓನ್ಲಿ 3 ಇಯರ್ಸ್. ಅದು ಬಿಟ್ಟು DCC ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ, ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಟ್ ಕೋಆಪರೇಟಿವ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕು, ನಮ್ಮ ರೈತರಿಗೆ ಅನುಕೂಲ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ 5 ವರ್ಷ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ನಾನು ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ಡೈರಿಗೆ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ, ಪ್ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರ ಪ್ರಶಸ್ತಿಯನ್ನು ಸಹ ನಾನು ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಚೇಂಜಸ್ಸು, ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿಗೆ 2014ರಿಂದ 2017ವರೆಗೂ ನಾನು ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರಾಗಿದ್ದೆ. ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಒಂದು ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ನಾನು ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದರೆ ಡೈರಿದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ರಾಜಕೀಯ ಭಾಷಣ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಕೃಷ್ಣಪ್ಪನವರು ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅವರೊಂದು ಪಾರ್ಟಿ ಪ್ರತಿನಿಧಿಸ್ತಾರೆ, ನಾನೊಂದು ಪಾರ್ಟಿ ಪ್ರತಿನಿಧಿಸ್ತೀನಿ. ನಾನು ಪಕ್ಷದ ಪರವಾಗಿ ನಾನೇನು ಮಾತಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ. ಸ್ಮಾಲ್, ನೀವು ನಂದಿನಿ ಹಾಲು ಕುಡಿತಾ ಇದ್ದರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ 2014ರಿಂದ ಹಿಂದೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ 7 ಗಂಟೆ 8 ಗಂಟೆಗೆಲ್ಲ ಹಾಲು ಸಪ್ಲೈ ಆಗ್ತಾಯಿತ್ತು. ನಾನು 2014ರಲ್ಲಿ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರಾದಮೇಲೆ ಕೆಲವು ಬದಲಾವಣೆಗಳೇನು ಮಾಡಿದೆ, ಡೈರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹಲವಾರು ಬದಲಾವಣೆಗಳೇನು ಮಾಡಿದೆ. ಅದನ್ನು ತೃಪ್ತಿ ಇದೆ ನನಗೆ ಆತ್ಮತೃಪ್ತಿ ಇದೆ. ಸಣ್ಣ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಡೈರಿ 1964ರಲ್ಲಿ ಲಾಲ್ ಬಹದ್ದೂರ್ ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರಿಯವರು ಇದನ್ನು ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ಡೈರಿ ನಂದಿನಿ. ಇದನ್ನು ಇವತ್ತು ಎಮ್ ವಿ ಕೃಷ್ಣಪ್ಪನವರು ಅವ್ರು ಉದ್ಘಾಟನೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಎಮ್ ವಿ ಕೃಷ್ಣಪ್ಪನವರು, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಅವ್ರ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಚ್ಯೂ ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ವಿ. ಅವರೇ, ಇವ್ರ ದೊಡ್ಡಪ್ಪ, ನಮ್ಮ ರಾಜೀವ್ ಗೌಡರು MP ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲ, ಅವ್ರ ದೊಡ್ಡಪ್ಪ. ಆ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇವತ್ತು ಸುಮಾರು 22 ಲಕ್ಷ ಮೆಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. 22 ಲಕ್ಷ, ಸುಮಾರು 2250 ಹಳ್ಳಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಇವತ್ತು ಡೈರೀಸ್ ಇದ್ದಾವೆ, ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಡೈರೀಸು. ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಹಾಲು ಪ್ರೊಕ್ಯೂರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತಗೊಬಂದು ಇದನ್ನು ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಇದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ಗೆ ಸಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಸುಮಾರು 11 ಲಕ್ಷ ಲೀಟ್ರ್ ಹಾಲನ್ನು ನಾವು ಗ್ರಾಹಕರಿಗೆ ಪ್ರತಿನಿತ್ಯ ಸರಬರಾಜು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಅದನ್ನು 3 ಶಿಫ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾಯಿದ್ರು, 64ರಿಂದ 2014ವರೆಗೂ. ಅದನ್ನು ನನ್ನ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ 2 ಶಿಫ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಸಿದೆ. ಅಂದರೆ ಆ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್ನ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾಯಿದ್ರು, ಅದನ್ನು 2 ಶಿಫ್ಟ್, ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ 6ರಿಂದ 2, 2ರಿಂದ ರಾತ್ರಿ 10, 10ರಿಂದ 6, 10ರಿಂದ 6 ಇದ್ದಂಥ ಒಂದು ಶಿಫ್ಟನ್ನು ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಸಿದೆ ನಾನು. ಆ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಸಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ 2 ಶಿಫ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ಮಿಷಿನರೀಸು, ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸಿಂಗ್ ಇವೆಲ್ಲನೂ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ವಿ. ಡೈರಿಗೆ ಸುಮಾರು 3.5 ಲಕ್ಷ, ಒಂದು ತಿಂಗಳಿಗೆ 3ರಿಂದ 3.5 ಕೋಟಿ ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಉಳಿತಾಯ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಯಿತು. ಒಂದು ತಿಂಗಳಿಗೆ, ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ಸುಮಾರು 30-35 ಕೋಟಿ ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಡೈರಿಗೆ ಉಳಿತಾಯ ಆಯಿತು. ಅದು ನೇರವಾಗಿ ರೈತರಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಕೊಡುವಂಥ ಒಂದು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಅದು ಬಿಟ್ಟರೆ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಲು ಉತ್ಪಾದನೆಗೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಒತ್ತನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ವಿ. ನಾನು BDCC ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ನಲ್ಲ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ರೈತರಿಗೆ ಹಸುಗಳಿಗೆ ಲೋನ್ ಕೊಡಿಸೋದಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಹಸುಗಳಿಗೆ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಹಾಕ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ ಕೊಡಿಸೋದಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಹಸುಗಳಿಗೆ ಕರೀಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹಾಲು ಕರಿಯೋ ಮಿಷಿನ್ ಕೊಡಿಸೋದಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಹಸುಗಳಿಗೆ ಮಿನರಲ್ ಮಿಕ್ಸ್ಚರ್ ಕೊಡೋದಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಹಲವಾರು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳನ್ನ ರೂಪಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡಾಗ ಹಾಲು ಉತ್ಪಾದನೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಯಿತು. ಹಾಲು ಉತ್ಪಾದನೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆದಾಗ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಲು ಒಂದು 10.5-11 ಲಕ್ಷ ಲೀಟ್ರ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಪಾಕೆಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಸೇಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾಯಿದ್ವಿ. ಮಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ದು ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸಸ್ ಇತ್ತು. ಅದನ್ನು ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆಗೆ ನಾವು ಪೌಡ್ರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾಯಿದ್ವಿ. ಪೌಡ್ರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಕಳಿಸಿದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರೈವೇಟಲ್ಲಿ 34 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ತೊಗೊಳ್ತಾಯಿದ್ರು 1 ಲೀಟ್ರಿಗೆ. ಅದು ನಮಗೆ ನಷ್ಟ ಆಗ್ತಾಯಿತ್ತು. ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವೇ ಯಾಕೆ ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕನಕಪುರದಲ್ಲಿ 46 ಎಕರೆ ಜಾಗವನ್ನು ನಮ್ಮ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ಡೈರಿಯಿಂದ ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನಾನು ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷನಾಗಿದ್ದಾಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 400 ಕೋಟಿ ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಒಂದು ದಿನಕ್ಕೆ 10 ಲಕ್ಷ ಲೀಟರ್ ಹಾಲನ್ನು ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಸಿ ಆ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟನ್ನು ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ಗೆ ಕೊಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ, ಈಗೆಲ್ಲ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟು ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ವಿದೇಶಗಳಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಕಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ನಾವು ಬೆಳೆದಂಥ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟು, ನಾವು ಮಾಡಿದಂಥ ಇದನ್ನು ಕಳಿಸ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅದೊಂದು ಈ ಥರದ ಹಲವಾರು ಬದಲಾವಣೆಗಳನ್ನು ಈಗ ಹಾಲು ಉತ್ಪಾದಕರಿಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ನಲ್ಲ ನಾನು, ಹಳ್ಳಿ ಕಡೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಕೆಲವು ಈ ಥರ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅಲ್ಲ. ನಾನು ಈ ನಮ್ಮ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ಸೌತ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯುನ್ಸಿ 9 ಪಂಚಾಯಿತಿ, 1 ಪುರಸಭೆ, 8 BBMP ವಾರ್ಡ್ಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ನಾನು ಒಬ್ಬ ಪಂಚಾಯಿತಿಗೆ ಬರ್ತೀನಿ, ಪಂಚಾಯಿತಿ ವ್ಯಾಪ್ತಿಗೆ. ಆ ಪಂಚಾಯಿತಿ ವ್ಯಾಪ್ತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನನ್ನ ತಮ್ಮ, ನನ್ನ ಒಡಹುಟ್ಟಿದ ಸಹೋದರ ಒಂದು ಪಂಚಾಯಿತಿಗೆ 7.5 ವರ್ಷಗಳ ಕಾಲ ಪಂಚಾಯಿತಿ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರಾಗಿದ್ದರು. ಅವರು ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಪಂಚಾಯಿತಿಗೆ 3 ಬಾರಿ ರಾಜ್ಯ ಪ್ರಶಸ್ತಿ ಬಂದಿದೆ. 3 ಬಾರಿ ರಾಜ್ಯ ಪ್ರಶಸ್ತಿಗೆ ಆ ಪಂಚಾಯಿತಿಗೆ ಬಂದಿದೆ. 1 ಸಾರಿ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಅವಾರ್ಡ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಈಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕೇಂದ್ರ ಸರ್ಕಾರದವರೇ 1 ಬಾರಿ ಆ ಪಂಚಾಯಿತಿಗೆ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಅವಾರ್ಡನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟರು. ಅಂದರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿರೋದು ಕೊಟ್ಟರು ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ನಮಗೆ ನಾವೇನಾದರೂ ಅವಕಾಶ ಸಿಕ್ಕಾಗ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿರೋರು ಅಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ನಿದರ್ಶನ, ಒಂದು ಅವಕಾಶ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾತಾಡಿದರೆ ತಾವು ಕ್ಷಮಿಸಬೇಕು ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು. ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ.
Thank you so much, Mr. R.K. Ramesh, for sharing your experience. It was very inspiring. Thank you so much. Next, I would like to give a warm welcome to Mr. Krishnappa from BJP. I also call upon Vishnu and Ajay to come forward and Mr. Krishnappa began his political career in I thought. That was R.K. Ramesh. Thank you. Krishnappa began his political career in 1983 and was first elected in 2006 in Zilla Panchayat elections to Uttarali. In 2011, he became the deputy chairman of BMTC. Mr. Krishnappa is a third-term MLA from Bangalore South constituency. A warm welcome once again, and please take us through the vision of yours.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಹಿರಿಯರೇ, ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರೇ, ಶ್ರದ್ಧೆಯ ತಾಯಂದಿರೇ, ಫೆಡರೇಷನ್ ಅವರು ಇವತ್ತು ಭಾಳ ನಮ್ಮ ಭೇಟಿಗೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಮೀಟಿಂಗನ್ನು ಕರೆದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಈ ವೇದಿಕೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಆಮ್ ಆದ್ಮಿ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಯವರು ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, R.K. ರಮೇಶ್ ಅವರು ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಈಗ ತಾನೇ ರಾಜೀವ್ ಗೌಡರು ಮಾತಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೋದರು. ನಾನು ನಿರಂತರವಾಗಿ ಅಭಿವೃದ್ಧಿಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೇ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಬಂದಾಗ ಆ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗೆ ಪರಿಹಾರ ಮಾಡೋದೇ ನನ್ನ ಡ್ಯೂಟಿ. ಇವತ್ತು ನೀಲಾದ್ರಿ ರೋಡು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಾಗೆ ಡಾಂಬರೀಕರಣ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಸೊ ನ್ಯೂ ಟೌನ್ ರೋಡ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಭಾಳಷ್ಟು ಕೆರೆಗಳನ್ನು ಪಾರ್ಕ್ಗಳನ್ನು, ಸಮುದಾಯ ಭವನನ್ನು ಭಾಳ ಪ್ರೀತಿಯಿಂದ ಒಂದಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಅಭಿವೃದ್ಧಿಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ನಿಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರ ಬಾಂಧವ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ನಮಗೆ ಸನ್ಮಾನ್ಯ ಯಡಿಯೂರಪ್ಪನವರ ಸಹಕಾರದಿಂದ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಹಣವನ್ನು ತಂದು ಹಳ್ಳಿ ಪ್ರದೇಶದಿಂದ ಹಿಡ್ದು ಪುರಸಭೆಯಿಂದ ಹಿಡ್ದು ನಗರಸಭೆಯಿಂದ ಹಿಡ್ದು ಕಾರ್ಪೊರೇಷನ್ ಲಿಮಿಟು, ತೋಗೂರು ಪಂಚಾಯತಿ, ಕೋನಪ್ಪನಗರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ಒಂದೇ ರೀತಿ ಒಂದು ವಿಶ್ವಾಸದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೆ. ನಮಗೆಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಪಂದಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ನಿರಂತರವಾಗಿ ನನ್ನ ಮುಂದಿನ ಯೋಜನೆ ಒಂದೇ, ಯಾರು ಇಷ್ಟು ದೊಡ್ಡ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಬಿಲ್ಡರ್ಸು ಕಟ್ತಾರೆ, ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಅವರು ಕಾವೇರಿ ಲೈನ್ ತರಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹಣ ಕಟ್ಟೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಅಸೋಸಿಯೇಷನಿಂದ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಕೊಡಿ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ಕೊತೀನಿ. ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ಅಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾರ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಕಾವೇರಿ ಪ್ಲ್ಯಾನ್ ಸ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತ್ರ ಕಾವೇರಿ ಲೈನ್ ದುಡ್ಡು ಕಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಆಮೇಲಿಂದ ನಿಯರೆಸ್ಟು ವಾಟ್ರ್ ಲೈನಿಂದ ನೀರು ತರಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅಮೌಂಟನ್ನು ಡೆವಲಪರ್ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಇವತ್ತೊಂದು ದಿನ ಗೊಟ್ಕೇರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಟ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾಯಿದೆ. ಈಗ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಸಿಟಿ ನಿಯರೆಸ್ಟ್ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಲೈನು ತಂದು ಆ ಬೆಡ್ತಾಸನಪುರದ ಮುಂದೆಗಡೆ ಒಂದು ವಾಲ್ವನ್ನು ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಮುಂದಿನ ದಿನದಲ್ಲಿ ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಟ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ಈಗ 110 ವಿಲೇಜಸ್ಗೆ ಕಾವೇರಿ ನೀರನ್ನು ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಈ ಕಡೆಗೆ ನೀರನ್ನು ಕೊಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳಂತ ಬಸವರಾಜ ಬೊಮ್ಮಾಯಿ ಹತ್ರ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಹಾಕಿದಾಗ ಅವರು ಗೊಟ್ಕೇರಿ GLR ಟ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ಆ ಕಡೆ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿನ ನಿರಂತರವಾಗಿ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಇದೆ. ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ದೊಡ್ಡ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಅಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಜೊತೆ ಸಣ್ಣ ಸಣ್ಣ ಅಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಗಳು ನಾನು ಭಾಳ ಕೇರ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಇವತ್ತಿನ ದಿನ ನೀಲಾದ್ರಿ ಹತ್ರ ರೈಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಅಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟು, ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಅಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ ಪಿಟ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿದರು. ಆ ಪಿಟ್ಟನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿ ಫೌಂಡೇಶನ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ವೀಕ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂಡರ್ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ಸ್ಯಾನಿಟ್ರಿಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿಸಿದ್ವಿ. ರೋಡ್ಗೆ ಕಾಂಕ್ರೀಟ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಹಾಕ್ಸಿದ್ವಿ. ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ STPಗಳನ್ನು ಅಳವಡಿಸಿ ವಾಟ್ರ್ ಸ್ಯಾನಿಟ್ರಿಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾಯಿದ್ವಿ. ದೊಡ್ಡ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಲೇಕುಗಳ ಹತ್ರನೂ ಸ್ಯಾನಿಟ್ರಿಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಹೈಟೆಕ್ ಶಾಲೆಗಳನ್ನು, ಕಾಲೇಜುಗಳನ್ನು, ಭಾಳ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಮಶಾಣಕ್ಕೆ ಜಾಗವನ್ನು ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೋಮುನ ಜನಾಂಗಕ್ಕೂ ಮಶಾಣದ ಜಾಗವನ್ನು ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಶ್ರಾದ್ದ ಕಾರ್ಯ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೂ ಜಾಗವನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ವಿ. ಸಮುದಾಯ ಭವನಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿಸಿದ್ವಿ. ಒಂದಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ನಿರಂತರವಾಗಿ 6,90,000 ಮತದಾರರಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನನ್ನ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ. ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ಸೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ 10 lakhs ವೋಟರ್ಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇವತ್ತು ಇದು ಅಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 25% ವೋಟರ್ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಮಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ದು ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ. ನಿರಂತರವಾಗಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ಒಂದು ರೀತಿ ಅಭಿವೃದ್ಧಿಯ ಚಿಂತನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಇವತ್ತಿನ ದಿನ ಮೀನಾಕ್ಷಿ ಟೆಂಪಲಿಂದ ಹಿಡಿದು ಬನ್ನೇರುಘಟ್ಟ ಸರ್ಕಲ್ವರೆಗೂ ಅಭಿವೃದ್ಧಿನ ಡಬಲ್ ರೋಡ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಬರ್ತೀನಿ. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲೂ ನಾನು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹಳ್ಳಿ ಪ್ರದೇಶದಿಂದ ಹಿಡಿದು ಎಲ್ಲವನ್ನು ಸನ್ಮಾನ್ಯ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳ ವಿಶ್ವಾಸ, ನಮ್ಮ ನರೇಂದ್ರ ಮೋದಿ ಡಬಲ್ ಇಂಜಿನ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರಿಂದ ನಮಗೆ ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಗೆ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಕೊಡಬೇಕೋ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಮಾಡ್ತಾಯಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಏನೇ ತೊಂದರೆ ಇದು 24/7 ನಿಮ್ಮ ಫೋನ್ ಎತ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಮುಂದಕ್ಕೂ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ನಿಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರ ಆಶೀರ್ವಾದ ನಮಗಿರಲಿ ಅಂತ ಕೈ ಮುಗಿದು ಕೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡು.
Thank you so much, Mr. M. Krishnappa. Just to put a few pointers that I made a note is he was talking about how the lake and park was developed and being maintained under his supervision. And also he was requesting us that we need to put pressure on developers to make payment to the government for Kaveri connection, because we keep talking about seeking a Kaveri connection, but what he is trying to bring out a point is that we also have to put pressure on the builders to make the payment on time. The third one is he also spoke about how the pit systems were being built and how under the supervision he could bring in sanitary system and to address those related issues. His last point was also related to voters list. If you look at big apartments, if you take the example of Norwood, we have about 1,000 flats, but hardly 25% of them have the voters list. So it is very important that we also get a voters list for our residents as well. Thank you so much, Mr. Krishnappa. We'll move to the next question. So we. ಒಂದು ಎರಡು ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಆಡಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್ ನಾನು ರೀಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಯಾರು ಬೇಕಾದರೂ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಕಾಮನ್ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ 3-4 ಜನ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನಾನು ಕನ್ಸಾಲಿಡೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಒಂದೇ ಕ್ವೆಶನಾಗಿ ಕೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ವಾಟರ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಸಿಚುಯೇಷನ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ ಸಿಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬ ಪೂರ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಹಾಗಂದರೆ ಬರೀ ಕಾವೇರಿ ಕನೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಒಂದು ಬರಬೇಕು, ಅದೊಂದು ಪೆಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಇದೆ, ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ. ಬಟ್ ಓವರಾಲ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಅಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ನೀವು ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲನೂ ಟ್ಯಾಂಕರ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಪೆಂಡೆಂಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಸಿಚುಯೇಷನ್ ಇಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಬ್ಯಾಡ್. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಏನು ಪ್ಲ್ಯಾನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋದು?
ಸರ್, ಒಂದೇ ಪ್ಲ್ಯಾನ್, ಕಾವೇರಿ ತರಲೇಬೇಕು, ತಂದೆ ತರ್ತೀವಿ, ನೋ ಆಲ್ಟರ್ನೇಟ್.
Yeah, I think one round of applause for giving us that assurance. So he's saying that he will bring the Kaveri water connection. Any other follow-up questions on the water? If anybody in the audience wants to ask, please. Yeah.
I wanted to ask him whether he is falling short of funds to do his work.
ಸರ್, ಇದು ಕಾವೇರಿ ಕನೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಇನ್ನೂ ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲಲ್ಲ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇದು ಫೈನಾನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಇದೆಯಾ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಫಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಇದೆಯಾ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಏನಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಇನ್ನೂ ಕಾವೇರಿ ಕನೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ?
ಭಾಳ ಈಸಿ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಸರ್. ನಮಗೆ ಸ್ಟೋರೇಜ್ ಆಫ್ ಟ್ಯಾಂಕು ವಾಟ್ರದ್ದು ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಗೊಟ್ಕೇರಿ ಹತ್ರ ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಟ್ಯಾಂಕು ಕಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ನೀರು ಬರಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಲೈನ್ ಬರಲೇಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಗೊಟ್ಕೇರಿಯಿಂದ ವೈಟ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗೋ ಲೈನ್ ಹಾಕ್ಸಿದ್ವಿ, ಅದನ್ನು ಡಬಲ್ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿ ಹಾಕ್ಸಿದ್ವಿ. ಇನ್ ಫ್ಯೂಚರ್ ನಾವು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಸಿಟಿಗೆ ಈ ಕಡೆಗೆಲ್ಲ ನೀರು ತೊಗೊಬೇಕು. ಮೇಯ್ನ್ ಲೈನಿಂದ ದುಡ್ಡು ಕಟ್ಟಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ನಾವು ನೀರು ಕೊಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಡೆವಲಪರ್ಸ್. ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಲೈನ್ ಇದೆ, ರೂಲ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಹಂಗೆ ಇದೆ. ವೇರ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ನಿಯರೆಸ್ಟ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಲೈನ್, ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಕಾವೇರಿ ಲೈನ್ ಪೈಪ್ ಹಾಕಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಡೆವಲಪರ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಇದೆ ಸರ್.
ಓಕೆ, ಅದು ಇವಾಗ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಸರ್? ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ BWSSPಗೆ
ನೀವು BWSSPಗೆ ನೀವು ಲೆಟ್ರ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ, ನಾನು ಚೇರ್ಮನ್ ಈ 30 days ಇದೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಮುಗಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗೋದು. ಇವತ್ತು ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಬೇಗೂರಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆನೂ ಹಣ ಕಟ್ಟಿ ಲೈನ್ ಹಾಕಿರೋರು, SNN ಅಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟು ಅವತ್ತು ಕಾರ್ಪೊರೇಷನ್ ಆಗಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ಲೈನ್ ತಂದರೂ ದುಡ್ಡು ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ. ಕಾವೇರಿ ಲೈನಿಗೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಸರ್ ಡೆವಲಪರ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಮೈನ್. ಅಂದರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಲೈನಿಂದ ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಲೈನ್ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಹಾಕ್ಕೊಂಬಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ನೀರು ಸ್ಟೋರೇಜ್ ಇದೆ, ನೀರು ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ.
ಓಕೆ.
ಸರ್, 1 second ಸರ್. You have deposit only for development, only infrastructure apartment charges. You have not paid line cost. Most important is line cost.
So that's okay, sir, but point is when we have deposited 2.5 crores about 8 years back, and if you don't pay the line cost also, when are we going to see the line
Sir,
today?
last time I told in Ajmer apartment and Kankat everybody, see, all apartment you have to make one association. You pay the line cost, you will get lesser investment. When you apply the water, definitely I will arrange. The major is line cost.
ಈ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಮು ಬ್ಯಾಂಗ್ಳೂರ್ ಸೌತ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಯು ಗೋ ಟು ಎನಿ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಗ್ಳೂರ್, ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಇದೆ. ಬಟ್ there are a lot of places where the BWSSB Kaveri connection is there. You get water twice a week. In a week twice. It is nowhere sufficient. Krishnappa ಅವರೇ, ನೀವು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ಇಡೀ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ ಸಿಟಿ, ಇಡೀ ಬ್ಯಾಂಗ್ಳೂರ್ ಸೌತ್ಗೆ ನೀರು ತಂದು ಕೊಡ್ತೀರಿ BWSSBಯಿಂದ, ಪ್ರತಿದಿನ ನೀರು ಕೊಡ್ತೀರಾ?
ಪ್ರತಿದಿನ ನೀರು ಕೊಡ್ತೀರಾ ಅಂತ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನೀರಿಗೆ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ವಲ್ಲ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡೋಣ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಕೊಡೋದು.
ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಂತಾನೆ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಈಗ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ.
ಅಲ್ಲ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಬೇಡ, ಬೇಡ.
ಅಲ್ಲ, ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ಹೈಪೋಥೆಸಿಸ್ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್.
ನಾನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ.
ಅಲ್ಲ, ಸೊ ನನ್ನ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ,
ಈಗ ಯಾರು ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿದಾರೋ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಒಂದು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಇಫ್ ಯು ಡೋಂಟ್ ಮೈಂಡ್. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಲೀಟ್ರ್ ಅಲೋಕೇಶನ್ ಅಂತ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಒಂದು ಮನೆಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಲೀಟ್ರು ಅಂತ. ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ
ಅದು ಸಾಕಾಗುತ್ತಾ ಅಂತ ಅದೇ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ. ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ಸಫಿಷಿಯಂಟ್? ದ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಇಸ್ ನೋ, ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಸಫಿಷಿಯಂಟ್.
ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಇರಿ. ನೀವು ಬಂದರೂ ಸಫಿಷಿಯೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ನಾನು ಬಂದರೂ ಸಫಿಷಿಯೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಸ್ಟೋರೇಜ್ ಆಫ್ ವಾಟರ್ KRSL ನೀರು ನೋಡಿಕೊಂಡು, ಇನ್ಫ್ರಾಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಮಳೆ ನೋಡಿಕೊಂಡು, ಡ್ಯಾಮ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ನೀರನ್ನ ಡಿಸ್ಪೋಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ.
ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಏನು ಮತ್ತೆ?
ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು
ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಏನು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ?
ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಕಾವೇರಿ ಲೈನಲ್ಲಿ ನೀರನ್ನು ಸ್ಟೋರೇಜ್ ಇದೆ, ನಾವು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಲೈನ್ ತರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಲೈನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ತಮಿಳ್ನಾಡು ಗಲಾಟೆ ಆಗಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂತ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಲೈನ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ತಂದಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಆ ಲೈನಲ್ಲಿ ನೀರು ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಅಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಅಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟು ಲೀಟ್ರ್ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಬೈಲಾ ಇದೆ, ಆ ಬೈಲಾ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ನೀರು ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ.
Okay, I'll address the people. Let me be very honest. If you think your problem is going to get solved by getting Kaveri connection, you're living in a dream world, right? It has to be self-reliant. We cannot get water from 1,000 kilometers away to Bangalore city. We have to make Bangalore supply water to the Bangalore people. What we have to do is develop our lakes, rejuvenate lakes. Make sure, today in Bangalore, you will get water only when you reach 1,500 feet plus. That is the biggest, problem we are facing. The water is polluted. So we have to develop lakes, we have to rejuvenate lakes, we have to recharge our underwater with rainwater. That will help you get water. Nothing else will help you with the water. Let me be very honest with you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. I'll just do a quick translation of what Mr. Krishnappa had communicated. He's mentioned that in the category that the water tanker has been already built and the lanes have been already laid down. So now whichever apartment is looking for a water connection should make an attempt to go apply for the Kaveri connection in the BWSSB, and he's assuring us that with all those process taken care, with the payments being done, the water connection will be provided. And we have other questions also about the overall conditions of the water. How do we better the system? We'll talk about that later. Thank you, sir. Yeah, sure.
ಹಲೋ, ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಸರ್. ಕೃಷ್ಣಪ್ಪ ಅವರೇ, ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ಜೋಶ್ವಾ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು. ನೀವು ಡಬಲ್ ಇಂಜಿನ್ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲ, ಅಲ್ಲ, ನಾನು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಡಬಲ್ ಇಂಜನ್ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಲ್ಲ, ಡಬಲ್ ಇಂಜನ್ ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ? ಯಾವ ಇಂಜನ್ಗೆ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು ನನಗೆ. ಯಾವ ಇಂಜನ್ಗೆ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಡೌನ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಯಾವ ಇಂಜನ್ಗೆ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅಲ್ಲ, 2 ಇಂಜನ್ ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಮ್ಮ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದ ಇದೆ ಸಿಗುತ್ತಲ್ಲ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅವ್ರ ಹತ್ರ ಮತ್ತೆ ಕಾಸು ಕಟ್ಟಿಸ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ. ಅಲ್ಲ, ಡಬಲ್ ಇಂಜನ್ ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕು, ಯಾವಾಗ ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಇಂಜನ್ ವೀಕ್ ಆದಾಗ ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಇಂಜನ್ ಎಳೆಯಕ್ಕೆ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಇಲ್ದಿರೋದಕ್ಕೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವ ಇಂಜನ್ ವೀಕ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು. ಅಲ್ಲ, 2 ಇಂಜನ್ ಬೇಕಾ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಅಲ್ಲ, ಯಾಕೆ BJP ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟು ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಲ್ಲಿ ವೀಕ್ ಅಂತ ಫೀಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು. ಡಬಲ್ ಇಂಜನ್ ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ? ಒಂದು ಇಂಜನ್ ವೀಕ್ ಆದಾಗ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಇಂಜನ್ ಹಾಕೊಂಡು ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ.
Thank you so much. So moving on to the next one. Any follow-up question on the water Kaveri connection? Otherwise, I'll just move on. Yeah? Okay. Okay, the next question is, this is from Arat. There is a scrapyard in the residential area that is, causing land, water and sound pollution. Police refuse to take complaint due to political affiliations of the owners. So overall, garbage. Yeah, okay.
People don't know the realities. So garbage area is there, right? Now there is a hotel coming up. If you see, there is a construction going on. There is no approach road for that hotel, guys. This is yeah. They are claiming a issue of that segregation plant, right? That will go off shortly. Why I am telling? I am telling the future also. That areas doesn't have a access road. Everyone. Newtown Road left side, Arad back side area. First of all, Newtown Road is an encroachment. That is a different story. So these people don't have an approach. Now this will be converted to a hotel, which is construction is going on. On top of that, there is I heard that this is a inside information. I heard that there is a liquor also sanction given to that. This will be a biggest nuisance.
Okay, before I come to you, so question ಏನಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇವಾಗ ಗಾರ್ಬೇಜ್ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಕಡೆ ಅಲ್ಲಲ್ಲಿ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ಲೇ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಗಾರ್ಬೇಜ್ ಕಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಏರಿಯಾ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಓವರ್ ಆಲ್ ಗಾರ್ಬೇಜ್ ಕಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಏರಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬ ಪೂರ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೇನಾದರೂ ಪ್ಲಾನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆಯಾ, ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು? ಐ ಕಮ್ ಟು ಯು.
ಸರ್, ಗಾರ್ಬೇಜ್ದು ಮೇಜರಾಗಿ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಕೋಪ್ರೇಷನ್ ತುಂಬ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ನೋಡಿ, ಎಲ್ಲೂ ಮನೆಗಳಿರೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಮನೆಗಳಿರೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಗಾರ್ಬೇಜ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದು ಬ್ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ ಸ್ಪಾಟ್ ಅಂತ. ಸ್ಕೂಟ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ, ಕಾರಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ, ಬಿಸಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೊರ್ಟೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ನಾವು ರೆಗ್ಯುಲರಾಗಿ ಅಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಹತ್ರ ಶೆಲ್ಫಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಪಂಚಾಯತಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ನಮಗೇನಂದರೆ ಕೆಲವು ಕಡೆ ನೀವು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇರಿ, ಮೇಯ್ನ್ ರೋಡಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಮನೆ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ಗಾರ್ಬೇಜ್ ಬಿದ್ದುಬಿಟ್ಟಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಆದರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಗಾರ್ಬೇಜ್ ಲಿಫ್ಟಿಂಗಿಗೆ ಆ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋದಿಲ್ಲ ನಾವು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾಯಿದ್ವಿ, ಈಗ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ವೆಹಿಕಲ್ಗಳು ಮಾಡ್ತಾಯಿದ್ವಿ. ಏನಂದರೆ ಈ ಬ್ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ ಸ್ಪಾಟನ್ನ ರಿಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ಲ್ಯಾನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾಯಿದ್ವಿ. ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು 100 ಕಡೆ ತೋರಿಸ್ತೀನಿ, ಒಂದು ಮನೆ ಇರಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ಗಾರ್ಬೇಜ್ ಸ್ಟಾಕ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಸ್ಕೂಟ್ರು ಕಾರಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದು ಬಿಸಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೊರ್ಟೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಅವ್ರು ಹಾಕೋ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಲಿಫ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ತಯಾರಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಅವ್ರು ಬೇರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಂದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀರ, ಅದು ಮೇಜರ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇದೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಪ್ರೇಟಾಗಿ ಒಂದು ವಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾಯಿದ್ವಿ.
See, from our side, we will set up ward level grievance resolution cells. So it's not just garbage. Any of these other issues that arise, we'll be in a position to respond speedily.
I have a knowledge sharing experience. Can I add? Yeah, I'll let you finish. Yeah, once you finish that.
I think we have to think why somebody is throwing garbage somewhere. Because the garbage is not being picked up from that person's house. Simple. If I'm getting a regular garbage pickup, why would I go and throw somewhere else? First problem. Second problem, let's say there are some kiosks. We call it as kiosk in government terminology, where we have to go and dump the garbage. I came here for a round, I didn't see anywhere. Let's say every 100 meter, you have a garbage bin. Who will throw it on the road? Will someone go throw on the road when you find a garbage bin nearby you? You will wait and go over there and throw it into the dustbin, right? Simple. The apartment folks have been considered as a large garbage generator. You'll be billed in a commercial term. When you pay property taxes, you pay garbage cess, right? Why do I have to pay extra money to collect my garbage? I don't need it. I've already paid my cess. It is a duty of the government to make sure that the garbage collection is efficient, which the government has failed, right? An efficient SWM has to be built in, solid waste management system have to be built in, wherein the contract have to be given to the vendor. If the vendor is not picking up the garbage, he has to be fined. There's a big, we spent 1,500 crore for just picking up the garbage in a year. I'm sure you might know about it. It's all just a big mafia. We have to really kill it, get into the root cause of it. Why, even after giving a contract to the vendors, they're not picking up the garbage? If they don't have that machine, this vehicle, it's not my problem. I've given them the contract. They are supposed to do it. They're not doing it. Why? It's a nexus. It's as simple as that. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'll keep it very short and sweet. Basically, the experience which I would like to share is, I am the founder of CPP, it's Citizen Participation Program. So likewise, we are talking about garbage issue. What we think about it. In my area, what I have done is, basically, we have supportive team of entire BBMP team who's supporting us. Considering the fact that we can't say that we can clap from one hand, right? So we would like to have citizens also participating towards it. Shortage of vehicles, shortage of things, shortage of staffs. How will we know? While attending the ward committee meetings on time and making sure you highlight your problem on time and making sure that we loop in the right citizens who can support and they know awareness. What is their roles and responsibilities? Whom to reach, what time? So likewise, he mentioned, right, we don't have to pay any bribe. We don't have to pay, because we've been paying tax money and everything has been utilized. Apart from that, what are we doing as a citizens? We need to make sure that we partner with the government and make sure that we address the issues. And this has been successful, and we've been running from last almost about 2 years now, and we have initiated a model ward initiative as well. Yeah, under the preview of our Krishnappa there, who's handling from Bangalore South apartment perspective. Over and above, it's not only about the officials here, it's about the citizens. How active the citizens are. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Yeah, the last question on this topic.
Thank you so much. So my question is a lot bigger than just the garbage, right? That's one big part of the whole system. But there's a illegal establishment running business for the last 2 years. We have been complaining. Police is refusing to take the complaint. We are being told that, well, there will be repercussions if you take this up. There's no one to hear us. And we are living in this mess for the last 2 years. Who's responsible? Who do we approach? This is a rat recusa, and there's a scrapyard that's been operating for the last 2 years.
ಕೃಷ್ಣಪ್ಪ ಅವರ್ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಈ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ ನೀವು ತೊಗೊಬೋದು ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. ಇದೇ ರೋಡಲ್ಲಿ ನ್ಯೂ ಟೌನ್ ರೋಡಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಓಪನ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಏರಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ 2 ಇಯರ್ಸಿಂದ ಫುಲ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಡಂಪಿಂಗ್ ಏರಿಯಾ ಆಗೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ಅದರಿಂದ ಸ್ಮೆಲ್ಲು ಮತ್ತು ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಡಿಸೀಸ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೇನಾದ್ರು ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದಾ ಅಂತ?
ಆ ಥರ ಇರೋ ವಿಷಯನ ನಮಗೆ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟಾಗಿ ಪಂಚಾಯಿತಿ ಸೆಕ್ರೆಟ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೇಳಿ ಚೇರ್ಮನ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳಿ ತೆಗಿಸ್ತೀವಿ. ನಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಬೇಕಲ್ಲ, ವಿಷಯ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಪಾಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ಗೆ ಪಂಚಾಯತಿಗೆ ತಗ್ಸೋಣ ಸರ್.
ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್ ಕೊಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅವರು ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಹತ್ರ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
ಯಾರನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಅಸೋಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ಅವರು ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಇವಾಗ ನನಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದಾರಲ್ಲ, ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ತೆಗಿಸ್ತೀನಿ.
ಓಕೆ ಓಕೆ. ಬಟ್ ಅದರ್ವೈಸ್ ಇನ್ ಫ್ಯೂಚರಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರು ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್ನ ನಿಮಗೆ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ರೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ
ಖಾಲಿ ಸೈಟಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕೋದು ನಾನು ಹಾಕ್ತೀನ ಸರ್, ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಬಂದು ನೀವೇ ಹಾಕೋದು?
ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಾನು ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ.
ನಾನು ಖಾಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಹಾಕ್ಬೋದು. ಇವತ್ತು ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಖಾಲಿ ಸೈಟ್ ಇದೆ, ಆಯಾ ಸೈಟ್ನ ಅವರೇ ಸ್ವಚ್ಛತೆ ಇಟ್ಕೊಬೇಕು ಅಂತಿದೆ ರೂಲಲ್ಲಿ. ಅವ್ರು ಯಾರೂ ಸ್ವಚ್ಛತೆ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಖಾಲಿ ಸೈಟ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿ ಬಂದು ಆ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಓನರ್ದಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಇವ್ರ ಥರ ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ ನಾವು ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ರೆವಿನ್ಯೂ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೇಳಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಕಸ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಯಾಕೆ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ.
ಓಕೆ, ಅರ್ಥಾಯ್ತು ಸರ್. ಬಟ್ ಒಂದು ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್
ಹೇಳಿ ಸರ್.
ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಇನ್ ಫ್ಯೂಚರಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಈ ಥರ ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರು ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಬಂದರೆ ನಿಮ್ದು ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರು ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್ ಮಾಡತ್ತಾ ಯಾವುದೋ ನಾವು ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಏನೋ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ
ನನಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಡಿ, ನಾನು ಮಿಕ್ಕಿದೆಲ್ಲ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ ಮಾಡಿ
ನಿಮಗೆ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ.
ನನಗೆ ನನ್ನ PA ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ನಾನು 24x7 ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ನೀವು ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಮಧ್ಯರಾತ್ರಿ ತೆಗಿತೀನಿ, ಅಟೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ಏರಿಯಾ ದೊಡ್ಡದು. ಬಟ್ ಇದು ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಓನರ್ಸ್ದು ಕೆಲವು ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಕೆಲವು ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಓನರ್ಸ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಗಾರ್ಬೇಜ್ ಹಾಕ್ಕೊಂಡು ಸಪ್ರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಹಾಕ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದರಿಂದನೂ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಸತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಥರ ಇದ್ದರೆ ನಾವು ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ.
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸರ್. ಸೊ ಯಾ, ಸೊ ಈಸ್ ಸಜೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ that we reach out to him directly if other sources of other mechanisms did not work. We can directly reach out to him. Now he is saying that he is aware of the issue. He will take action on that. Yeah.
Yes, I'm Nilima from Norwood. I'm Nilima, and my sincere request to all the guests who are present here today is irrespective of any political party. You all explained us really very great about the problems of our Bangalore. And so I request sincerely to all of you to together please work out, irrespective of any political party, to work out and bring a solution, whether it is Kaveri water or it may be the regeneration of lakes, whatever Mr. he said. And also about the garbage issues which were raised, mafia of garbage or water tanker mafia or anything. This is my sincere request on behalf of Norwood and also from BAF.
Thank you.
ಸರ್ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಸರ್. ಇದು ನಮಗೆ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ಒಳಗೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಫ್ರೀಕ್ವೆಂಟ್ ಪವರ್ ಕಟ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ? ಹೌ ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ದಟ್? ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಸರಿ ಇಲ್ವಾ? ವಿ ಆರ್ ಸೆಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಟು ದ ಅದರ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಅಲ್ವಾ?
ನಿಮಿಷ ಸರ್, ಪವರ್ ಕಟ್ಟು ರೆಗ್ಯುಲರ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ.
ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್.
ನಿಮಿಷ ಸರ್, ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್. ಸಮ್ಮರಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ ಅಂದರೆ ನಾನು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫಾರ್ಮರ್ ಹಾಕಿ ಯಾಕೆ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಫಾಲೋ ಅಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ಪವರ್ ಹೋಗೋದು ಬರೋದು 5-10 ನಿಮಿಷ ಆದರೆ ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆದರೆ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್ಗೆ ನಾನು ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ.
ಸರ್ ಮೊನ್ನೆ 8 ಅವರ್ಸ್ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಪವರ್
ಹೇಳಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಸರಿ. ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಕೇಬಲ್ಲು JCBನವರು ಅವರವರ ಕೇಬಲ್ ಬರ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಆ ಥರ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ.
ಆಲ್ಟರ್ನೇಟ್
ಅಲ್ಲ, ಕೇಬಲ್ ಇವಾಗ ಲೈನ್ ಕೇಬಲ್ ಇರ್ತಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಬರ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಆಯಿತು ಅಂದ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಅವ್ನು 3-4 ಅವರ್ಸು 5 ಅವರ್ಸ್ ಬೇಕೇ ಬೇಕತ್ತೆ ಆಲ್ಟ್ರ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ. ಏನನ್ನ ಬೇರೆ ಥರ ತೊಂದರೆ ಆದರೆ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಹೇಳಿ, ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆ ಇರ್ತೀನಿ.
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸರ್.
I'll just come to you guys. So I would like to call Vikram to take us to the next question.
ಒಂದೆರಡೇ ನಿಮಿಷ ಸರ್, ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸಮರೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಒಂದು ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಆಲ್ ದ ಮೆಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಹೂ ಆರ್ ಓವರ್ ಹಿಯರ್, ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಟಿವ್ಸ್ ಓವರ್ ಹಿಯರ್, whenever there is an issue, please feel free, and I would insist, bring it to the attention of our cluster leadership. I am making a statement in front of all the political parties over here. Please use the platform of BAF to collectively bring issues to them. See, at the end of the day, individually bringing issues has a limitation. They also have time constraints, etc. And he's committing that madhyaratrinu phone tegitin anta heltare, but obviously. But at the end of the day, to put that together, bring it as a collective issue to point out with the right input information. I can assure you that a lot of other clusters also today, we are following up and making sure that the issues get resolved, right? Every area will have a different nature of the issue. So my humble request to all the members, residents, like Professor Gowda said, today we have very limited people over here, but the message should spread across. We have close to, Raman sir, about 60-70 apartments in the electronic city cluster alone. 49, right? 50, and that will represent easily some 7,000-8,000 households, if I am not mistaken, right? So please use the opportunity to flag off certain issues, bring the issues to the attention, we will take it up, right? It is easy to represent it that way. That's one part. So question to all, ellargu ಒಂದು ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ 2 ನಿಮಿಷದಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಗಿಸ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ ಸರ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ ಸಿಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಯುನೀಕ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲರದು ಒಂದು ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳದ್ದು ಒಂದು ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗಲ್ಲೂ ಹೇಳಿದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ 2 ವಿಧಾನಸಭಾ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಬೀಳುತ್ತೆ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ ಸಿಟಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದರೆ, ಒಂದು 3 ಪಂಚಾಯತ್ ಏರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬೀಳುತ್ತೆ, ಒಂದಿಷ್ಟು ಮೇ ಬಿ BBMP ಏರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಗವರೆಲ್ಲ ಹೋಗಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು BBMP ಏರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬೀಳುತ್ತೆ, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ ಸಿಟಿ ಅಂತ ಈ ಏರಿಯಾ ಅಂತ ನೋಡಿದರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಮುನಿಸಿಪಲ್ ಬೌಂಡ್ರಿ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್. ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ BBMPಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ
ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿದ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಡ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಸರ್.
ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್.
ನಾವು ಕೋನಾಪ್ ನಗರ, ತೋಗೂರು ಪಂಚಾಯತಿ, ಉಳುಮಂಗ್ಲ ಪಂಚಾಯತಿನ ನಗರಸಭೆ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ರೆಕಮೆಂಡೇಶನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ.
ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಅದೊಂದು ಪುಷ್ ಮಾಡಲೇಬೇಕು ಸರ್. ಸಿಟಿ ಅಡ್ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಒಳಗೆ
ಪಂಚಾಯತಿ ಇದ್ರೆ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ.
ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್.
ಸೊ ನಗರಸಭೆ ಇದ್ರೆ AEAWL ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸಿಂಗ್ ಈಸಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ, ಏರಿಯಾ ಫುಲ್ಲಿ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ಇದು ನಗರಸಭೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ರೆಕಮೆಂಡೇಶನ್ ಮಾಡಿ.
ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಸರ್. ನಗರಸಭೆದ ಎಫಿಷಿಯನ್ಸಿ BBMP ನಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇದೆ, ಬಟ್ ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್
BBMP ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್. BBMP ಎಲ್ಲ ನಗರಸಭೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ.
CMCಗೆ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್. ಬಟ್ ಐ ಹೋಪ್ ಎವ್ರಿಬಡಿ ಹಿಯರ್ ಇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಿವೋಕಲ್ ಇನ್ ಯುವರ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟೇಷನ್ ದಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ಗೆಟ್ ಆ್ಯಡೆಡ್ ಟು ದ ಮುನಿಸಿಪಲ್ ಕಾರ್ಪೊರೇಷನ್. ಸಿಟಿ ಲಿಮಿಟ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ ಸರ್ ಇವತ್ತು. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್, ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು. ಅದೇ ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಇಫ್ ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಎವ್ರಿಬಡಿ ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಆನ್ ಬಿಹಾಫ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ ಸಿಟಿ ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ that today the representation of electronic city should be in the right forum, which is not a panchayat capability, as he said, if the services are not up there, and lot of difference of quality of services. At least if we can move it to the next level, which is the municipal corporation, then it will be appropriate basically. So if can bring it to order. Thank you very much, sir.
I expected apartments to raise a very valuable point, GST. Nobody raised it. GST, sir, we are paying unnecessarily GST over the maintenance. We have brought this with notice to the government of India also. Recently, the Union Finance Minister was here. We have given a representation and we explained that we are service-oriented organizations and why do we want to charge GST? It is becoming a big problem. We have requested either to take it away or enhance the threshold of 7,500 to 10,000. This is one of the issues that I thought one of them would raise it because it is almost ending. This is a point which I would request the government of India now to take it up and then sort it out irrespective of the elections. Thank you.
So one last question. One last question is road related. Excuse me, just give me a moment. Okay. One common question ಬಂದು ರೋಡ್ ಪಾಟ್ಹೋಲ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ರೋಡ್ ಲೇಔಟ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದಲ್ಲದೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಡ್ರೈನೇಜ್ ಕ್ಲೀನಿಂಗ್ ಅರ್ಧ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಬೆಸ್ಕಾಮ್ ಕೇಬಲ್ ಹಾಕೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಡಗಪ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
ಅವ್ರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ನಾವು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ. ನ್ಯೂ ಟೌನ್ಗೆ 12 ಎಕರೆ ನ್ಯೂ ಟೌನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ರಸ್ತೆ ಅವ್ರು ಮಾಡಿ ಆ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಸಿಕ್ಕಾಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ನಾವು ಮತ್ತೆ ನಾನು ಸರ್ಕಾರದಿಂದ ಹಣ ತಂದು ಇವತ್ತು ಡೌನ್ಲೀಕರಣ ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬರ್ತೇವೆ. ಸೊ ಇವಾಗ ಹಾಕಿರೋದು ತಾರ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇದೆ. ಯಾಕೆಂತಂದರೆ ಅವನು ಡೆವಲಪರು ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಬಿಟ್ಟೋದು ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ತಂದು ಹಾಕ್ಸಿದ್ವಿ. ಆ ಡ್ರೈನೇಜ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಲೀನ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ನನ್ನ ಪಂಚಾಯತಿಗೆ ಸಾಲ.
ಅದು ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ 20 ಡೇಸ್ ಕೆಲಸ.
ನಾವು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಅಡ್ವೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಅದೊಂದು ಸಪ್ರೇಟ್ ಬಾಡಿ.
Okay, thank you, sir. You can. One round of applause for Mr. Krishnappa. He wants to go.
Sir, I just want to appeal. I don't know that we are heading to the elections. So I don't know, there are a lot of candidates. I mean, R.K. Ramesh is there and you are there and AAP person is also there. We are heading to the elections. Most of the questions is directed towards you. I don't know who will be the next winning candidate. Might be you or might be R.K. Ramesh, might be the other guy. So no. I just want to make an appeal that in this region, in this area, we do not have a park. So far, we do not have any park, normal park, casual parks, and any burial grounds, crematoriums, graveyards, or kind of yeah. And ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಪಶು ಆಸ್ಪತ್ರೆಗಳ ಆ ಥರದ್ದು ಯಾವುದೂ ಇಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಾಬಬ್ಲಿ.
ಮಶಾಣಿಕೆ ಜಾಗ ಸ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಮುಸ್ಲಿಮು, ಹಿಂದೂ, ಕ್ರಿಶ್ಚಿಯನ್ 3 ಜನಕ್ಕೂ ಜಾಗ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಲಾಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ಡಾಕ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ ಸಿಟಿ ಹತ್ರ ದೊಡ್ಡನಾಮಂಗಲ ಬಾರ್ಡ್ರಲ್ಲಿ 3.5 ಎಕರೆ ಜಾಗನ ಹೈಟೆಕ್ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟ್ಲಿಗೆ ಎಲ್ಸಿಟಾಗಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಅವರೇ ಕಟ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಡಾಕ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಅವರೇ ಕಟ್ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಸರ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ, ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಜಾರು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಸಿಕ್ಕಾಪಟ್ಟೆ ರೆವಿನ್ಯೂ ಲೇಔಟ್ ಹೋಗ್ತಾಯಿದೆ. ನಾವು ರೆವಿನ್ಯೂ ಲೇಔಟನ್ನು ನಾನು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಪಾರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗತ್ತೆ? ನಾವು 3 ಜನದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರು ಗೆದ್ದರೂ ಪಾರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಲ್ಲ ರೆವಿನ್ಯೂ ಸೈಟಲ್ಲಿ. ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ಅವ್ರು ರೆವಿನ್ಯೂ ಸೈಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂದಾಗ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಸೈಟ್ ತೊಗೊಳ್ಳೋ ಫೀಲಿಂಗ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತೀರ. ಅವ್ನು ಪಾರ್ಕ್ ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾನಂತ ಯಾರೂ ನೋಡಲ್ಲ. ಅದರಿಂದ ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮ ಕೈಯಲ್ಲಿ BD ಅಪ್ರೂವ್ಡು, BMRD ಅಪ್ರೂವ್ಡು, ಹೌಸಿಂಗ್ ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಈ ಥರ ಇದೆ. CA ಜಾಗಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಬಿಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಸರ್. ಈ ರೆವಿನ್ಯೂ ಪಾಕೆಟಲ್ಲಿ CA ಜಾಗ ಬಿಟ್ಟಿರೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್. ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಇದೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಈ ಥರ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇರೋ ಕಡೆ ನಾನು ಮಾಡಿಕೊಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ನನ್ನ ಸಹಕಾರ ಇದೆ.
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸೋ ಮಚ್. ಬಂದಿರೋ ಎಲ್ಲ ಗಣ್ಯ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗಳಿಗೆ
ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಅಪ್ರೋಚಬಲ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಎವ್ರಿ 5 ಇಯರ್ಸಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಸಲ ಬರೋಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಸರ್ ನೀವು ಯಾಕೆ ಒಂದು 6 ಮಂತ್ಸಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಸಲ, ಇಯರಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಸಲ ಬಂದುಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಮ್ಮ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳಂತ ನೀವು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೋದಲ್ಲ. ಮೇಯ್ನ್ ಅಂದರೆ ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿದಾಗೆ ಇದು ನಮ್ಮದು BBMPಗೆ ಬರೋಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಪಂಚಾಯತಿಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ನಾವು BAF ಮತ್ತೆಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ನಾವು ಫೈಟ್ ಫಾರ್ BBMP ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. LCT ಅವ್ರು ಬಿಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ, CMಗೆ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ನಮಗೆ ಏನೇ ಆದರೂ ಈಗ ನೀವು ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಇನ್ಫ್ರಾ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಿ, ನೋಡೋಕೆ ಅಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇದ್ದಾವೆ, ಸಿಟಿ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ವಿಲೇಜ್ ಆಗಿ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಈಗ ಅವರು ಅಶ್ಯೂರೆನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು ನಗರಸಭೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ, ನಾವು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾಯಿದ್ವಿ. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಿ ನೀರು ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಸರ್, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವೇಣು ಅಂತ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ನಾವು ಇದ್ದೀವಿ, ಶಿಕಾರಿಪಳ್ಳಿ ಲೇಕ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಮಾರ್ಗಂಡ್ಲಿ ಲೇಕ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ನಾವೇ ವಾಲಂಟಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿ ರಿಜ್ಯೂನೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಆ ಭಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಸಿಟಿಸನ್ಸು ಬರ್ತವೆ. ನಂದು ಒಂದು ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂದರೆ 5 ಇಯರ್ಸಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಸಲ ನೀವು ಬಂದುಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೇಳೋಕ್ಕಿಂತ ರೆಗ್ಯುಲರ್ ಆಗಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಒಂದು 6 ಮಂತ್ಸ್ 1 ಇಯರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಬೆಟ್ರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ನನ್ನ ಕಣ್ಣು. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಇಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಾಮಿಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ.
ನಾವು 2023 ಎಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ. ಲೆಟ್ ಮಿ ಬಿ ವೆರಿ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ವಿತ್ ಆಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಯು. ವಿ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಫಾರ್ ಒನ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಷನ್. ನಮ್ಮದು ಹೊಸ ಪಕ್ಷ ಇವಾಗ ಬಂದಿರೋದು, 1 ವರ್ಷ 2 ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ನಾವು ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಆಗಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರೋದು. ಇನ್ನು ಮುಂದಕ್ಕೆ ನೀವು 6 ತಿಂಗಳಿಗಲ್ಲ, ಪ್ರತಿ ತಿಂಗಳು ನಮ್ಮನ್ನು ನೋಡ್ತೀರಾ. ನೀವೇ ಕೇಳ್ತೀರಾ ಆಮ್ ಆದ್ಮಿ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಗೆ ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಪ್ಪ ಕೆಲಸ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಕಮಿಟ್ ಟು ಯು ಫಾರ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ 5 ಇಯರ್ಸ್. ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಕೀಪ್ ಹಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಎವ್ರಿ ಡೇ ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಮೈ ಕಮಿಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಟು ಯು. ನಾವು ಇರ್ದೇ ಇರ್ತೀವಿ. ಲೇಕ್ ರಿಜುವಿನೇಷನ್, ನೀವು ಕೆರೆ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ವಾಲಂಟಿಯರಾಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ. ನನ್ನ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಒಂದು ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಗಿರೋ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿ, ದಿ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿ ವಿಚ್ ಎ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ is 1,000 times higher than an individual civic group. It has funds, it has resources, it has engineers, it has know-how how to do it. When the government responsible tagondre, lake rejuvenation is hardly nothing. We did it in Delhi. 200 ಕೆರೆಗಳನ್ನ ರೆಜುವಿನೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಡೆಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಟರ್ ಟೇಬಲ್ ಇವತ್ತು ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಅದೇ ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ನಮಗೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋದು. ನೀವು ಯಾವುದೇ BWSSB ಎತ್ತಿನಹೊಳೆ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ, BWSSB ಕಾವೇರಿ, ನಾನು ಹುಟ್ಟಿರೋ ಊರು ಮಂಡ್ಯ, ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಕೇಳಿ, ಕಾವೇರಿಲಿ ನೀರಿಲ್ಲ. ಯು ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ಗೆಟ್ ವಾಟರ್. ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಟೆಲ್ ಯು ಹಾನೆಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ವ್ಯವಸಾಯಕ್ಕೆ ನೀರಿಲ್ಲ. ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಬಿಗ್ ಲೈ. There are a lot of places who have been given the connection, they don't have water today. They're struggling. I can show you. When Tushar Girinath, the current BBMP commissioner, I had a one-on-one conversation with him. He clearly told me that we are giving you the connection. Don't expect water because we don't have water. I'm not saying it. Tushar Girinath, he was the ex-BWSSB chairman. He openly told me there is no water. Right? ಸಾವಿರಾರು ಕೋಟಿ ಒಂದು ಅಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಗೆ BWSSB connection, if you want to take it, you have to pay lakh of rupee. Why do we have to pay? Someone has the right question. When there is so much money in the government, why do we have to pay for the obtaining a connection? It's kind of a mafia. Let me tell you, BWSSB, you can't directly go and apply for a connection online. You will have to go through a contractor. He will ask you, give me 8 lakh per apartment, give me 3 lakh per apartment. How much you are actually paying to the government? Hardly 80 to 90,000 rupee. But in between, for piping, for that, this, you will have to end up paying more money. You know what we did in Delhi? We said free connection, BWSSB, we don't call BWSSB over there, free connection to mandatory connection to every household. I'll tell you why. If you don't have a BWSSB connection, what you will do, you will let sewage water into your drainage. It goes to my lake and the lake gets polluted. And why are you leaving the sewage water into the lake, into the drain? Because the connection of BWSSB is too damn expensive. For a bigger apartment, it will be in crores. It is the biggest demotivation for apartments to take that connection. So what we did is, we will give you free connection. Don't pollute my lake. We want the lake to be clean that, I remember, now lake allogi swimming marta idvi. We were swimming in the lake. Can we even think of swimming in the lake? Forget about swimming. Can I even put my leg in the lake today? I'm afraid there's a lot of sewage in the lake. Right? If you want to have a better water, better facility around, better infrastructure, you have to make sure that wherever the pain point of people, giving crores of rupees for a connection where you are not even going to get a water, you still have to go and depend on the tanker. It's a waste. Nobody will take it. Right? We provided free connection. We said, we will give the free connection. It is mandatory. You have to take it. You have to let your sewage treated water into that connection, which will be treated again and then left to the lake, so that my lake doesn't get polluted and you don't have to shell out more money. This is the governance which we want to bring in Bangalore. Thank you. I hope I answered your question.
ಏನು ನಮ್ಮ ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು, ನೀವು 6 ತಿಂಗಳಿಗೊಂದು ಸಾರಿ ಬಂದು ನಮ್ಮ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳನ್ನ ಬಗೆಹರಿಸ್ಬೋದು ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು. ನಾನು ಹೋದ 2018ರ ಚುನಾವಣೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸೋತಾದಮೇಲೆ ಕೊರೋನಾ ಬಂತು. ಕೊರೋನಾ ಬಂದಾಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಭಾಸ್ಕರ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸುಮಾರು ಈ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ 85,000 ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ರೇಷನ್ ಕಿಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ವಿ ನಾವು. 1,00,000 ಮನೆಗಳಿಗೆ ತರಕಾರಿ ಕಿಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ವಿ ನಾವು. ಫ್ರೀ ವ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿನೇಷನ್ ಕ್ಯಾಂಪ್ ನಡೆಸಿದ್ವಿ. ಫ್ಲಡ್ಸ್ ಬಂತು ಇಲ್ಲಿ, ಗೋದ್ರೇಜು ಅಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟು ಫುಲ್ ತುಂಬೋಗಿತ್ತು, ಡ್ರೈನ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನಾವು ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ನನ್ನ ಅಪ್ರೋಚ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ನಾನು ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಲೋಕಲಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಇದ್ದರೂ ನನ್ನ ಮಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ನಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಯಾರು ಪ್ರತಿದಿನ ಇರ್ತೀನಿ ನಾನು. 6 ತಿಂಗಳಿಗೊಂದು ಸಲ ನನ್ನ ಮನೆ ಇರೋದು ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಪಕ್ಕ, ಇಲ್ಲೇ 6 ತಿಂಗಳಿಗೊಂದು ಸಾರಿ ಅಲ್ಲ, ದಿನಾನೂ ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀವಿ. ಏನೇ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳಿದ್ರು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲವು ಅಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಈಗ ಹುಡುಗರು ಕೆಲವರು ಗಾಂಜಾ ಹೊಡೆದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಗಲಾಟೆ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅದು ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡ್ತಾಯಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆ ಥರ ಸುಮಾರು ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಸ್ಟೇಷನ್ಗೆ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಇದು ಮಾಡೋದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನಾನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ನನಗೆ ಯಾರು ಅಪ್ರೋಚ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಯಾರು ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಭಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಕಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ನಾನು ಈ ಲೋಕಲ್ ಎಂಟು. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಯಾರು ನನ್ನ ಅಪ್ರೋಚ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಈ ಲೋಕಲಲ್ಲಿ ನನ್ನ ಕೈಗೆ ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಅವ್ರು ನನ್ನ ಕೈಯಲ್ಲಾದ ಒಂದು ಸಹಕಾರವನ್ನು ನಾನು ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಪ್ಪ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು
so much. So he is assuring all of us that he will be available for us whenever there are any issues. We can reach out to him directly. He has also done tremendous work in the past as well. So we can look forward for his continued support for all of us. Okay, so we have to wrap up, so we may have take last 1 or 2 questions. But before that, I just want to announce that we have collected all the questions already, and we are going to consolidate that, and we are going to put into a charter, and we are going to give it to all the leaders for them to address it later as well. So since we are running out of time, 1 or 2 last important questions. If you have anything specific to the leaders, you can ask. Anyone have a question? Okay, so yeah, so thank you. Oh, you want to do this? Oh, okay. So we'll wrap up. Okay. Okay. With that, I would like to thank. Please give a round of applause for our leaders for their time, for coming all the way. And it has been very pleasure interacting with you all. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, Vandanegadu. Yeah, I'll take the number and I'll share it with all of them. Okay, and thanks to all of you as well for coming in here and asking questions and being very patient with us. Thank you so much. See you next time.